go away with you. Forever in my mind, only you. The pieces in my life run away with you. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first love.
Good evening all and welcome to the Hungaroring for round 8 of the 2013 Crossmaster Formula Sim Racing World Championship with myself, Nick Rowland, and tonight I'm joined by Matt Hartley for the first time for World Championship, so even to you, Matt.
Thank you, it's good to be back, first time World Championship this year, and I'm excited to be broadcasting this one alongside obviously somebody who needs no introduction, which is yourself, which is good because you've been around for a long time. So we're looking at the run-in here, and familiar name at the top of the timesheets. We're in Q1 here, Nick.
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction as well. But we are in Q1. Yeah, we've had a 4-week break, pretty much a month off. We've had from since the last race around the Nürburgring, but now we are here in at the Hungaroring, and it's Bono Huis that leads the way currently in qualifying 1. Nearly at the midway point of Q1, and it's Huis from Moran, the Ghost Speed driver back up there in Q1. Samuel Lebert in the Twister, he's currently in 3rd place. Quite a few drivers actually dipped underneath the 18.0 mark, which was always questioned if a lot of people would do, but it seems there's more so now in World Championship than in World Series. We've got 5 drivers that have dipped into that. 17.8, 17.8, 17.8, 17.9, 17.9. Those drivers are Huis, Moran, Lebert, Simončić and Burlat. So we're already looking at a very competitive front end of the field at the halfway point. The top 10 current cut-off is Ivor Calamies for Precision Motorsports. He's on a 118.4. That's the current cut-off, but I suspect over the next 5 minutes here, Matt, we're going to see quite a big shake-up again.
Yeah, I would expect Calamies to improve. He's out on another lap right now, coming on the second to last corner, gets a little bit sideways, car's a little bit loose, and actually abandoned that lap, so he's going to have to go again, because saw in warm-up, Calamies was up the sharp end of the times, and yeah, there's quite a lot of people, like you said, dropping below the 18.0 mark, and as Simončić now goes number 1, obviously this doesn't set those guys' position just to get through to the top 10, for those that aren't familiar with the rules here, but it's always nice to be top of the timesheets, and Simončić now is for Ash Racing, and like we said, Calamies has been pushed out, so he's really going to have to get a lap together for Precision.
Yep, Simončić tops the timesheets, and we've just seen Morgan Moran actually go through sector 1 the fastest by 1/1000th of a second, as he's in sector 2 at the moment. Oh, he's run a little bit wide on the exit of the midsection there, coming into the end of sector 2 beam now, and has it cost him time? It has cost him over 1/10 of a second, and he's abandoned the lap in fact, so just goes to show that Moran is pushing, and we just had a jump up there. Is that 4th place? Yeah, it was Peter Burlock actually improved in front of his teammate Samuel Lebert there, so he's gone to 4th place on a 1:17.859 in front of his teammate on a 1:17.877. So it's all very close. The next man is Rob van Starkenburg on a 1:18.0. Then Jack Keefe, the two GT Omega drivers are together there on a 1:18.0. 18.0 also from Philip Pushka, who has returned. Gugu Baldi, who was the star of the Nürburgring in some respects with his second place finish, he's on an 18.1 in 9th position currently. Blair Disley is the man for PSR, actually inside the top 10 and won it once again. Kostadinov in 11th place, and Ivar Kalamis is the one that's dropped out on the 18.4, but expect him to improve, I would have thought, fairly shortly with 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go.
Yeah, like you said, great drive from Baldi at Nürburgring last time out. And yeah, it's surprised to see Kalamis down there, but a lot of guys, like you said, would be a little bit surprised that at 18.0 is only good for, what, 8th place right now. That's pretty crazy because, you know, a couple guys improve and 18.0 might not even make it through. And quite a few guys thought that that would be good enough to be up near the sharp end. Just shows how close it is. I mean, we got 4 guys in the 8s. Between Huiz, Moran, Burlak and Lebert, and they're all beat by Simonich's 7 right now. It's just crazy close, and that's why a lot of guys are abandoning laps, because you lose 1/10 and that's it.
Goes to show also, even after a month's break, these gyros have not lost any of their touch. In fact, probably some of them have got even quicker, just to see the gaps in what they are. Only half-second splits the top 10 currently, and there'll be some more moves and shakers yet to come. But it's down to P8, it's for the Pushka. That's 2/10 there. It's only 9 and 10 that have got a little bit more of a margin, and there's a little bit of breathing space that some drivers can pop themselves up into. Compared to the World Series and also yesterday, we've seen a lot more drivers dip much lower than what World Series did, because a lot of the time we do see World Series and World Championship drivers are quite relatively equal in qualifying 1, but this time these WC drivers have gone above and beyond.
Yep. They're definitely showing their class. Like you said, a lot of the times World Series can match up. A few guys, anyway, from the World Series can match up. Oh, Kalamis had to get way onto the grass, coming out of the pit lane. Interesting that he improved to 18.3, but he didn't actually improve enough to beat Blair Disley's time on that last run. So he's going to have to go again, and he's got Burlak in front of him. In front of that, Van Starkenburg, and then he's trying to pass Burlak on the outlap here, because both these guys are racing around. There's only 58 seconds to get back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, they're actually racing back, and obviously they don't want to hold each other up come the end of the lap. So
yeah,
Ivar Kalamis wants to get by, but he's going to have to hold off until the end of the lap. But he can't leave it too long, otherwise he will miss that cut-off point to start another lap. They're around the midsection now, so they should get back. It's going to be very close, and Ivar Kalamis is going to have to time this very well. And obviously Peter Burlak's actually got traffic in front of him as well. I believe it's one of the GT Omega drivers there in front that is in front of Burlak. It's Rob van Starkenburg who has Patrick de Witt in front of him. Both move out the way, and 20 seconds remaining. They will get back to the line. Ivar Kalamis has to go careful. He has backed off, and he will get to the line in time. So it's worked out for both Twister and Precision there.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous. You never like to see guys going side by side in Q1. That normally means that something's a little bit tight. But as you said, 2-1 and checkers are out, so everybody that's on a lap will be allowed to complete it. Blair Disley, who's on the bubble, he's in the garage, so he's not going to be able to do anything about the times. Konstantinov looks like he is on a lap just in front of Kalamis. And Jojo Baldi is also on a lap trying to seal his place in the top 10. So it's going to be Baldi, then Konstantinov, and then Kalamis.
Yeah, Kalamis has just gone through. He's a little bit off his own time through sector 1. 700ths off the overall time of Simoncic as well. Burlak, he's actually chasing down Burlak now as well. And Burlak he's gone a little bit slow in the first part of this mid-sector in comparison to Ivar Kalamis. But Burlak, as we've already seen, has done a very competitive time already as de Witt lights up his rear tyres. Oh, I think it's a bit of engine smoke, in fact, there. He's really pushing the limits of his. 800ths up, sorry, 8,000ths up is Ivar Kalamis on his own time, but he's lost 0.3 to Simoncic in the mid-sector. Will Burlak realise that he's there, because this is going to be dirty air time for Ivar Kalamis. It's not going to work out terribly well for him. Depends what sort of drive he get out of the final corner. Will this be an improvement? We've seen a few changes already. Bit of a moment there for Burlak on exit. Can he get the draft? Oh, he has improved by a 10th. Where's that put him? He put him 10th. That's worked for Kalamis. He's gone up. He's the man that is in 10th place. That really works. It was Disley that had that 10th place, but it's now from Ivar Kalamis. So no real change towards the front of the field. That was Simon Chich that's progressed, along with Bono Huis, Morgan Moran, Peter Burlak and Samuel Lebert, both for Twister Racing, Rob van Starkenberg for GT Omega, Gergo Baldi for Brem GP, Jack Keithley for GT Omega, Philip Pushka for Ghost Speed, and Ivar Kalamis for the second Precision Motorsports car.
Very, very close, but Calamis gets it done and manages to get through. And of course, he'll get another shot. And with a lot of guys, only one shot in the final session might, you know, even if he doesn't have enough pace to improve on that time, a lot of guys might lose some time because you only get one shot. So Calamis could find his way further up the list. We'll have to have a look.
I think we have to identify as well just how competitive these times have been. They're absolutely incredible. 19.0 takes you at 19th place. So Moises Rondon and Giuseppe Marconi have done a good job to get within a range of the guys in front, but it's going to be the top 10 shootout now. If you guys are new to this or you haven't seen for the best part of the season with a month break, the qualifying 2 works like this, where you have one driver go out on track, they will do their hot lap, and as they do their hot lap, the next driver goes out on track. So essentially, we will see each one of the top 10 drivers, and you get to see your favourite driver if they're inside the top 10 also. And we will hopefully try and cover all the laps, which we've been successful with this season so far. So it's a case of now the drivers and teams deciding if they actually want to send their drivers out. Some drivers opt to stay in pit lane and save their tyres for the race, and some will actually go out and do the qualifying time. So the first man out should be Ivar Kalamis, but I'm yet to see any movement from Precision Motorsports.
Yep. No, he's out.
He is now.
Coming,
bit of lag there for me.
2. Yeah, there's been a little bit of it lying around. Hopefully that'll go away. But yeah, Kalamis is doing a nice steady outlap. You don't want to take too much off the tyres around a track like this with a lot of long corners, but you still have to get reasonable heat into them and into the brakes, obviously, because you only get one shot. So it's kind of a balancing act, this outlap. Sometimes the outlap is actually harder than the fast lap because you're overthinking things.
Yeah, absolutely right. He's taking a bit of a slow one as he goes round on his outlap. But I'll give you a quick rundown of how the standings stand. Well, I'll give you the top 5. It's Bonnie Huis that leads the way on 112 points, with Ivar Kalamis on 109 from Jack Keithley on 66. Philip Pushka's on 61 and Morgan Moran on 55. So there will be some moves and shakers probably without the top of WC fairly soon, because they're all a bit tight there, especially between Jack Keithley, Philip Pushka and Morgan Moran. Ivar Kalamis and Bono Huis have a slight advantage. Precision lead the way in the constructors on 239 points to Ghost Speed 116, so it's a huge gap there. As what's Ivar Kalamis doing
here? He's cruising.
I think he's cruising. Yeah.
I think he's just doing a slow lap, maybe hoping that other guys won't put a time in, so he can save some tires. Because yeah, he's definitely not flying around this circuit right now.
No, I think what he's doing is he's posting a representative time.
Yeah.
Which means that if another driver does not wish to go out on track, he will actually elevate himself up on the grid. So he's taking it very, very easy, making sure he gets set to time. So he'll dive back into pit lane, you would think, and that will be the end of his qualifying. But if no one else, if the other drivers decide not to go at all, then it will actually elevate him up on the grid. So this is a bit of a clever ploy there from Precision Motorsports. The next man out on track is P8. So there you go, there's a prime example of it. Looks like Philip Pushka hasn't gone out. Yeah, Philip Pushka has not gone out for his laps. This is what Kalamis is doing, so it will put him above Pushka on the grid. So it's Jack Keithley will be the man to start a hot lap, we think, but we'll have to wait and see. High tyre degradation around here, and a lot of tyre wear also. Very variable on pit stops. There's quite I think it was about 4 to 5 different types of strategy you could actually run around this track, and a lot of drivers are opting for various strategies already, and this is only the qualifying stage. So we'll have to wait and see now. As Jack Keithley, while he's going to run wide at the final corner, so you would think he is going for a fast lap, and he is indeed going for a fast lap. So we do get our first driver in the top 10. It's P8 man Jack Keithley that's going to do the first flying lap of qualifying 2 as he dives into turn 1 using second gear. Clean exit. Oh, slight oversteer though. Just had to correct it on exit there. as he comes up towards turn 3. Now I'm classifying this as turn 3 because technically on the track map, the kink after turn 1 is classed as turn 2. So I'm working off that, so I apologise if anyone's working it off any differently. So this corner, rather than being 4, is actually 5. So he's gone through there 2.5 seconds faster than Callum. That's about right. Been fairly clean though from Jack Keithley currently, as he comes through this mid-section, which is turn 8 and 9 with the chicane. Very tight section there. Now it's kind of more open chicane, which is turns 9 and 10 before the exit. And again, this is classified as a kink of 11 and 12 before the high-speed section, coming down towards the heavy braking of what is classified as turn 14 using second gear. 15. Now these two corners are very, very tricky because they're long radius corners. You need to carry a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, make sure the nose is in and get a clean enough exit. So that's a good first part there for Jack as he comes into the final corner. Takes a very tight line, holds a very tight apex, exits one, there's a lot of curb on the exit, and it's a 1:19.9 there for Jack Keithley.
Pretty good lap. It looked like he was pretty solid. The car wasn't stepping out too much. Jojo Baldi gives the full beans coming out of the last corner. He's the last man, or the next man, sorry, to start a lap. Coming down the main straight, hitting 290, almost 288 into turn 1. Again uses second gear down there. Got a little bit loose on the exit, but manages to get it back. So I guess, like you said, turn 2. So this is 3. Usually people lock up into 3. It's not a surprise, because it's such a off-camber corner, off-balance corner. So through 4, easy flat. Up through turn 5, and he's a 10th down on Baldi. Got to keep 4 wheels on the road through 5. Through 6, a long corner, just have to be patient with it. 7 and 8, said very tight chicane. You want to get as close to those ridges as you can. Looks like he gained a little bit of time there, lost a little bit of traction on exit. Then we go through the left, right here, and then you want to use some curb, just manages to keep 1 wheel on the track. Then through the extremely fast turn here at Nürburgring, I think that's turn 13. Then this is 14. You want to get, just rides a wheel on that white concrete. That's not a bad idea actually, kind of turn him around nicely. Another lockup, this is kind of a similar corner to turn 2, a little bit slower. Gets a good exit off there, and then we'll see whether he takes Keithley's line. He does a very tight line on this last corner. You can double apex or you can go tight. So Jojo Baldi comes in and does a 19.9 and beats Keithley by 3 thousandths of a second.
He had a very good middle set there, but actually lost time in the final, so it was a good final set from Jack Keithley. So we should see now Keithley's teammate and World Series promotee Rob van Starkenburg out of the track here. We do indeed, and he's just about to hit turn 1 now. Also using second gear, clips the apex very, very nicely, runs wide on the exit but gets on the power nice and early. Didn't have the oversteer moment like Keithley did. He now heads towards turn 3. Remember, we classify this as turn 3 as the kink is 2. Runs wide but gets on the power very, very early. Tight line though, a very, very tight line going through 4. Up towards 5 and 6, double downshift with it. The 2 tenths up on Jojo Baldi as well. What a first sector that's been. Drops to third gear. Powers out nice and early on the power once again there for Rob van Starkenburg. Brakes from 6th down to second gear, holds the nose, flicks it across the apex, running a little bit deeper in the chicane than they really would like to have done. Third gear through the longer chicane, and that's worked for him a little bit wider on exit, but got onto the power very, very early. Double downshift now to 4th gear. He's down on Baldi, but we've already seen how quick Baldi's mid-sector was. He lost time in the final, but he's still 400ths up on Baldi in the mid-sector. So can he gain some of that time back in the final? Second gear, long radius corners, very difficult, very technical. Powers out the other side, over the curbing. Dives into the final corner, third gear. Holds the apex very, very tightly. Actually opens up the steering a lot earlier and takes a lot of curbing, but has compromised him. Oh, wow. No, it started at 1:19.682, 3 tenths quicker. An awesome lap there from van Starkenburg.
Wow, what an end to the lap that was. Managed to beat him easily by 3 tenths. So he lost a little bit of time in the middle, so Baldi's middle sector was really good. Maybe that's wing. We'll have to have a look at that one. Now it's Samuel Lubert who's actually next on track, and he was looking very, very quick in warm-up, and he's surprised to be a little bit further down in Q1. He was faster. Oh wow, that's it, it's over.
That's deja vu for me yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty much over now. I mean, he's not going to beat anybody other than Calamies, you would think. Anything else would be pretty impressive. That's got to be, what, 3 tenths? Easy for 3 to 4 tenths. lost there, and
Six.
yeah, 6. Yeah, I thought it might be pretty much over, but he's going to stay on the lap, which is interesting. He didn't abandon it and just try and beat Calamy's lap.
Well, we've seen that the precision car was slow in the mid-sector, so he may gain some time back and try and elevate himself up. He's certainly giving it some through the chicane there.
He's given everything he has because he has to. A lot of guys going a little bit tight into this right-hander, but having the grip to avoid going too wide. And we see the downshifts into the fast turn. Yeah, he has found a little bit of time on Van Starkenburg, so he pretty much matched Baldy's middle sector. And then we're coming into the final sector now, so maybe he can get in that gap. This would be very impressive if he could end up anywhere other than just in front of Ivar Calamies. So we'll see what Liebherr can do. He's got to give it everything he has out the last corner, just keeps it on the road, and he is going to do a 20.3, and he's going to end up P4.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame there for the Twisters Racing driver, but they've got another chance now. It's their second driver, Peter Burlack, who was very impressive in qualifying World Series yesterday. He's actually had, that's quite a slow outlap he's actually had at the moment. He's only just come into the second last corner, which is turn 15. He's coming to 16 now. But yeah, he had a very good qualifying session yesterday, and I think he was actually more disappointed. His Q1 was great, his Q2 wasn't so great, so I'm sure he'll try and make up for it on this lap now. Let's see how he goes through turn 1 as he dives into one now, second gear. Powers on the exit. Oversteer again. There was a slight bit of oversteer, but he caught it. That was a good car control there from Peter Burlack. He's come up towards turn 3 now. Oh, very, very wide. Brake way too late, but got the cutback. And again, oversteer on exit. These Twister cars are really, really oversteer on an exit at the moment. So he comes up towards the end of sector 1. Yet nearly 2/10 down on Van Starkenburg, but quicker than Baldy. So this is working for him at the moment. Not for the outright time, but it's working enough. That's quite wide again through the mid-sector there, coming up towards the chicane of 8 and 9 before 10 and 11 chicane. And this is where the Twisters have been good. This is where Precision have lacked a few tenths in the middle sector, but they've gained it in 1 and 3. So what's this going to be like for Burlack in the mid-sector now? Drops to 4th gear. Powers through the exit. He has gained. He's gained about 0.04 of a second there through the mid-sector. Coming down now towards turn 13 before, sorry, turn 14 before 15. Let's see what his entry is like here. This is good. He's carried good speed, good momentum. Exit, runs right out to the curb. Flicks up to 4th gear, down to 3rd, down to 2nd into the final corner. So he has to hold the nose in using 2nd gear. Powers through the exit. What's this going to be? A 1:20.0. So nearly 4/10 off Van Starkenburg. So a bit of a disappointing end to the lap, but the Twister Racing cars are very, very good in that mid-sector.
Yeah, it changes direction so quickly through that rolling sector. You pretty much just roll speed all the way through that middle sector, and the car looked to change direction beautifully. But it seems to be really difficult to slow the rear end of it down. They seem to go into these long corners and really have trouble to get the back of that car slowed down. That's why they're having to use like 2nd gear on the final turn. Next man on track though, we'll concentrate on him. It's Morgan Moran. Of course, he'll be looking to get back in the win box here, and he is coming into turn 1, and he's after sector 1 down a little bit, but not too bad. Can definitely recover that with a good middle sector. That looked like a pretty good turn 6 there. Then we come into the chicane, 7 and 8. You don't want to go too deep, it's a little bit sideways, but manages to change direction pretty quick. This was where Twister, I found, was really quick. And it looks like Moran wasn't too shabby either through that section. Will he go down to 4th? No, he stays in 5th for the fast right. He's 2/10 up going into this final sector. He just needs to get through there. He doesn't touch the concrete there, but he gets a nice exit, a little bit on the curb, comes into the second to last turn, gets the car stopped beautifully right in the middle of the apex. Now brings it back to the final turn. Early turn in, runs a little bit wide, but he's going to get on the power nice and early. Will that cost him any time against Rob Van Starkenburg? Morgan Moran goes first by a 10th, the 19.572. Provisional pole currently.
Yeah, good middle sector and a solid final there. Still Van Starkenburg with that dynamite final sector, but now it's the turn of the championship leader, Bono Huis. We've seen a very active lap, I think you can say, from Morgan Moran there. A lot of wheel work going on in that car, but it got a lot of time. Bit of oversteer there for Bono Huis to go through turn 1. Through the kink of turn 2, up towards turn 3 now. As he comes through, he's using 2nd gear through there, runs a wider line on exit, and straightens the car up for the best possible exit. Nice line there for Bono Huis. What's this been like in sector 1 though? It's been good. It's 600ths up on Morgan Moran, but we always saw Van Starkenburg had a good sector 1 though, and Morgan Moran was slower than Van Starkenberg in Sector 1, so it's now a case of Sector 2. Now, this is where the Precision Motorsports car has not been so strong, is the mid-sector. We've already seen the Twister and now the Ghost Speed be very strong in this mid-sector. Can Huis make up for it with driving ability alone? Powers through the mid-sector, coming up to the kink, this right-hand kink, and he's down. He's 700ths down on Morgan Moran. But this is where the Precision Motorsports car now brings it back, is Sector 3. He goes through turn 14. He got a cleaner exit than what Moran did through there as he comes towards 15. Exit 15, second gear, up to third, fourth. Nearly, yeah, he did flick fifth. Double downshifts to third. Tight line. Powers on the exit, runs right the way out over the curbing. Is this good enough for pole position? Oh, it's not! 1/1000th of a second! Unbelievable! That's an incredible time! A 1:19.573 in comparison to Morgan Moran, who's a 5:72. That is incredible times!
We knew it was close, but I did not think it was 1/1000th of a second close. I mean, you cannot physically split those two drivers now, Simanic. That's not a chance. Now, I'm not sure why there's some chat going on because Simanic is on a lap. He put up the fastest time in Q1 and he is on his lap now in Q2. There's no chance of him splitting Moran and Huis. Oh, and he's way wide, struggling to get any grip way out on the marbles there of turn 2. And this is going to be a very disappointing first sector. Not too bad, considering only just less than 2/10 down, and then goes really wide again through turn 6. This car isn't looking like it's quite as hot as what it was in Q1. Sideways again through the chicane. Can he pull any time back through this S section? Again, runs a little bit wide. This hasn't been too much of a clean lap, in my opinion, by the looks of this. So we'll have to see. He rides a lot of curb through there, and yeah, he's 3/10 down now. We've needed a miraculous last sector. Huis was beautiful through this turn. Simanic was pretty good. Comes into the second to last turn. Have to get it stopped right in the middle, and again, a little bit of push. Mid-corner understeer there from Simanic, and he's going to come through this last corner, and it just hasn't looked like he's managed to hook one up. So where will he end up? Simanic to the line. Simanic ends 4/10 down, P6. That's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it looked like he could take a bit more of a risk in some of the corners, and I don't think he believed he had the grip, but the grip was there. But nevertheless, that was an incredible end to qualifying between Morgan Moran and Bernard Huis. 1/1000th of a second, splitting the pair of them. But Morgan Moran has taken pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. That was truly something there, Matt. We've moved into the warm-up session now. We've got a few minutes of respite before we get underway, but I think we're in for an enthralling race. So the top 10 stands as Morgan Moran on pole position from Bernard Huis. Rob Van Starkenberg's in third place from Gergo Bowley, the second place man in the Nürburgring. He's in fourth place. Jack Keithley for GT Omega is in fifth. Simon Cich for Ash Racing is in sixth. Peter Burlak and Samuel Lebert, the two Twister drivers, are 7th and 8th. Ivar Kalamis is in 9th place, and Philip Pushka is in 10th. Alright, we'll just take a few minutes here. We've got a good bunch of time for a warm-up, so we'll just have a message from our sponsors. Okay, hopefully you are all back with us. We had a few technical issues, but I think we're all sorted now. We're on the formation lap. We haven't missed any of the action yet. These guys are on the formation lap, so I'll run you through the top half of the field. So it's Morgan Moran that is on pole position for Go Speed, from Bonnequist, who is in second place. Rob van Starkenburg for GT Omega is in third, with Gergo Baldi for MGP is in fourth place. Jack Keithley is in fifth for GT Omega, and Simon Chich for Ash Racing is in sixth place. Burlak is in seventh place for Twister Racing. The second Twister car of Samuel Lebert is in eighth. Ivar Calamise is in ninth place for Precision. Philip Pushka, Morgan Moran's teammate, is in 10th. Blair Disley is in 11th place for Bicross Positive Sim Racing, who has really had a great run of form lately, with Dean Kostadinov for Crown 7 Netrex in 12th. And Matt, I will let you run through the lower half of the field.
Marcel van der Linden, he is 13 for PSR, 14 Masculi, 15 is Johannes Cabot for JSP. Then we have Antonio Kolarec, Patrick De Witt a little bit far down, P17. Jorek Bashov is 18. Rondon is 19. Then we got Marconi. Zoltan Suti is starting at the back of the field.
Yep, so we've got 21 drivers here today for the race around the Hungaroring, as the drivers are all coming back to their grid positions now. And they're lining up on the grid. We've got the last few drivers just coming around the final corner now, and we await those infamous red lights before the start of the race. Here we go. We've got one light, we've got two, we have three, four lights. And the 2013 Hungarian Grand Prix is go, and a good jump there for Bonnequist. A great start. Oh! Moran's pushing right against the wall. Oh, Huis was committed through there. He's got through, going down into turn one. Moran pushing right. Oh, he's touched him. Oh, he's hit Van Starkenburg as well. He hit Van Starkenburg, and it's Baldi that leads. And Moran's through. Now where's Huis? Huis is more behind Moran, and Keithley. Keithley's on the long term and going around the outside of Moran, but Moran's cut back in front of Keithley. Moran is in second place, Keithley is third. Huis has gone down to fourth after that contact with Moran. Moran was the beneficiary of that. Keithley's not risked anything on his sister teammate Bonnequist. He's held third place, but it's Gergo Baldi that leads the way. Fifth place man Rob van Starkenburg, and then we have Simonchich from Lebert, from Pushka, from Kostadinov, from Calamise, who's going around the outside of the hairpin, and moves up on Kostadinov.
Moran for the lead, side by side with Baldi. Here comes Huis! No, you can't go side by side through there, and they almost touch. This is crazy. Baldi caused all the contact at first corner and somehow managed to come out in first, so not sure whether there'll be any after race incidents right there. Moran is trying to attack Baldi, and Huis is just ready to pick up the pieces.
He is indeed, so there's a lot of contact at the start there, with Baldi and Moran being involved in it, which is a bit of an accordion effect, pushing everyone forwards, and it pushed Huis deep in turn one. And now it's a case of what can Baldi do against Morgan Moran. Moran wants to get by because he knows Huis is there, and Huis will want to get by very, very quickly as well. So game on.
Here we go.
Good run out of the final corner for Morgan Moran on Gergo Baldi, but Bonnequist is right with Moran as well. Oh, so the outside goes Morgan Moran, very, very late braking. Oh, that's cheeky for Moran to cut back across the apex, and it knocked the front of Huis's car. He got it sorted out though, just about. Look at that, to the inside. Oh, he's hit Baldi. Moran hit Baldi. Again, that's a very, very bold move from Moran. Now that's direct contact. I'm not sure if he'll give the position back there, because I don't think that will stick. But he dived right up the inside and actually hit the side pod of Gergo Baldi there to nerf him out the way. Huis tried to capitalise also, but Moran has gone through and has taken the race lead. We will have to wait and see if he does decide to let Baldi back through, because he did push him out the way as opposed to pass him. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But Huis is the next man on Baldi.
Yeah, that wasn't a clean pass, but maybe that was trying to pay back for Baldi hitting Moran at turn one. I'm not quite sure, but looked like Moran was fired up and ready to go in that car, because you see him cut Huis off, and then he launched one up the inside, knowing there was going to be contact into the next turn. So he has the lead of the race. We'll see what happens from there, but it's up to Huis now to get past Baldi, because it looks like he doesn't quite have Moran's pace.
Well, at the moment, Moran is starting to pull a gap, and it's a case of now can Huis get out to the final corner and get onto the slipstream of Baldi. That's a great drive out the final corner for Gergo Baldi there. He's in the slipstream now. He's getting closer and closer, going down towards turn one. He'll dive to the inside, hit the brakes. Oh, yes, he is going up the inside. He's just about held on. He's nerfing all the way to the edge of the track. but Baldy was had to give the position in the end. There was slight contact, but Huis has made this move stick going into turn 1, and now it's a case of Huis trying to catch Moran. Baldy's back to 3rd, and Keithley. Oh, the 2 GT Omegas are right behind now as well. So Van Starkenburg is 5th, Keithley's 4th. They're going to be the next men on to Baldy. Simoncic is sitting nicely in 6th place with Lebert and Pushka just behind. And
Here comes DeWitt.
He's going up the inside. You'd have to believe that he is on soft tyres. He did this a few races ago. He's done this for a couple of races now. In fact, we've been on the soft tyre at the start. And he's gone up the inside of Pushka. That's another one dispatched. And DeWitt's next target is Lebert. Oh, look at the run he's got through there as well. He's not going to go around the outside of him, is he?
No.
Oh, he is indeed. What a move. Good work, Patrick DeWitt, on those soft tyres. Next man, Simoncic.
He's flying. He's flying out there. Like he's already up to 6th. Like this is even better than what we saw yesterday on these tyres. There's so much more grip on these tyres that DeWitt has, because
DeWitt apparently actually had contact also with Calamise, so that's a bit of an issue also. DeWitt had, because Calamise is down in 9th.
Simoncic wasn't even there. Wasn't even there in the last turn.
Incredible. So DeWitt's gone up, and but Calamise went backwards because of the incident, and now DeWitt is closing in on Rob Van Starkenburg. So it's DeWitt against both GT Omegas now, and out in front. Oh, hang on a minute. Where's Baldy? Gergo Baldy is down in 17th.
Drive through maybe.
I'm not too sure. I think he's had a mistake, and Baldy's actually gone backwards there, but unless it's lag. But he's down in 17th for me at the moment as I'm seeing it. So he's actually dropped out of what was 3rd place. So DeWitt has got by both GT Omegas already. I can't keep up with this at the moment. It's absolutely insane. So Keithley and Van Starkenburg 4th, 5th. DeWitt is 3rd, and he's chasing down Bonner Huis and Morgan Moran now. He's only a second behind Huis. The gap between Huis and Moran is 6/10 of a second. 25.6 is Moran's fastest time, so 25.3 for Huis. So Huis is making this work at the moment, but he's going to come under heavy pressure from the Crown 7 Networks driver of Patrick DeWitt very shortly, who looks like he's an absolute man on a mission at the moment. Incredible work as Keithley and Van Starkenburg are together with Simoncic just behind.
Yeah, I'm looking back at Baldy. It looked like, I don't know, some computer issue of some kind. He kind of just, it was lag or what, but he went through the chicane and then he didn't.
Sorry, Matt, this is P2. He's got him. DeWitt's got by Bonner Huis already, coming out of the final corner on those soft tyres. He's on these soft tyres, and is he making them work? He really is making them work. He goes up a position. Huis is starting to lose a little bit of time now, and it's a chase of chasing down Moran.
There's no way that car has the same amount of fuel as everybody else's, surely. I mean, he's already up to 2nd.
You would believe not, because this is insane pace. He's on 22.9. That's incredible, even for the for the soft tyres. Even that is incredible race pace to have. 22s on soft tyres. I don't even think that's recognisable and respectable of what's going on. He's going up the inside of Moran, and sure enough, Patrick DeWitt has taken the race lead.
But we saw in warm-up, DeWitt was going out there like 3 seconds quicker than everybody, and he's doing that in the race as well. So he can't have race fuel on that car. Like, I mean, this would be one of the most impressive finishes of all time if he did. So there's something going on there.
I'm really not sure, but he's not testing much. He looks like he's got out into the race lead at the moment. He's on a 122.9. And he's coming around the final corner now, and he's setting some great lap time. He's pulling away from Moran. It's at 1.6 seconds, so you'd have to believe that this is either tyres or fuel, or probably both, in fact. I'm not too sure what DeWitt is playing at or trying here, but we'll leave DeWitt there at the moment, because I believe that this will probably not stick.
No.
So this respective battle will be against Moran and Huis, who are currently 2nd and 3rd, and only split by 4/10. So when DeWitt got by, Huis made up the time that he'd lost being passed by DeWitt, and it's now 4/10 of the second. Moran's improved to 25.439, 25.3 for Huis. Moran's getting quicker, and so is Huis. Now, where's Keithley and Van Starkenburg? They're 3 seconds behind those two. And Simoncic is the man on a menace, because he's getting very close to Van Starkenburg.
Yeah, there's a great fight going on here. Van Starkenburg is kind of the rear gunner for Keithley, but he's going to be coming under pressure from Simoncic as this train begins to form around Hungary, as we expect. There's only one line through this section. Simoncic lost a lot of time through that chicane there, though. So it looks like the GT Omega cars are doing a pretty good job currently
4th and 5th, maybe 3rd and 4th. We're not quite sure about De Vit.
Yeah, we're all not sure on De Vit here. We have to believe that he's on soft tyres and low fuel, though. Not entirely sure why, because he obviously cannot get to the end of the race on that. But at the moment, he is the race leader. We can't take that away from him. He is in the race lead, and he is going away. But we have to believe that net race leader is going to be Morgan Moran, with Bono Ruiz really pushing a huge slap of oversteer out the final corner there. But he is pushing on, trying to get onto the back of Morgan Moran, with Keith Lee and Van Starkenburg 3.6 seconds behind. Simoncic has actually fallen backwards, and it's Liberle that looks like he's going to be making the move for 6th place on Simoncic.
Yeah, Ruiz went very deep into turn 1. He was right behind Moran, though. He's trying to get in the slipstream of him to try and make a pass down the straight.
Peter Burlak, I missed what happened to Burlak at the start of the race. He looks like he had a few issues. He's down in the length at the moment and coming back through the field. Currently challenging Kostadanov, and then is Patrick De Vit's teammate. He's going towards the outside. Oh, he's going for a Grosjean. No, he's not. He didn't risk it. Wow, Kostadanov went very, very deep, in fact. And Kostadanov, can he hold it? Oh, wow, Burlak going around the outside, is he? No, but he's got to give him room. Kostanov's got to give him room. He has given him room, but he's not enough to get around the outside of the chicane there. It was an incredible run he just had there. But Calamise is battling with a Pushka at the moment. This is over 8th and 9th. Lebert is the man in 7th at the moment. Simoncic has pulled away and started closing on both GT Omegas again. Oh wow, Huis is right behind Moran now.
Yep.
3/10 that splits them. It's all a case of can Huis get a good run out of the final corner. Gets a good exit out to the second last corner. That's turn 15 into 16 now.
Different lines.
Moran's run very, very deep, and Huis got a much better, tighter line. But look at the exit Moran gets. It's a superb exit from Morgan Moran there.
Yeah, that did the job.
The race lead is, by the way, the race lead is now 6.6 seconds.
Sure it is. I don't really know what's going on with that car. I mean, maybe we're all wrong, and I don't know. But I mean, I'm always wrong, so that's not a problem. But the fact that he's pulling away from Miranda and Huis that quickly, that's why I don't believe it.
If he's 7.4 seconds now down the road from the probably two of the fastest guys in sim racing, then I think questions have to be raised.
Slightly. That's what I said. If you're gonna do this, at least go a little bit slower. Right now, like, does he really need to be still pulling out? Like, go a little bit slower. Save some fuel. You know, at least try and do 20 laps or whatever it is. I don't really know what's going on.
Peter Burlak's got past Dion Kostadanov for 10th place now, so the Twister Racing driver is coming back through the field. He's now going to try and close on Ivar Calamise, who is closing in on Morgan Moran's teammate, Philip Pushka. So in fact, we've got a battle between 2nd and 3rd currently in 8th and 9th. And it's the Ghost Speed that's leading both those trains at the moment, with the Twister closing in. The GT Omegas are the sandwich, and then it's Simoncic and then Libert. So the Twister Racing cars haven't really progressed as of yet, but we should probably see them go forwards fairly soon. The Ash Racing car is having a strong race at the moment for Simoncic, as to both GT Omegas. And Huis is still 3/10 behind Moran. He just cannot get the run out the final corner to make any sort of impression.
No, he's great into turn 1 though. He's very good on the brakes, so he just needs to get that down to 2/10 instead of 3 to have a shot at Moran. But Miranda's doing a good job, you have to say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right what you just said there. He just needs to get that couple of extra tenths on the braking. He's got the braking bit nailed, but Moran seems to have these very good exits.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, what I've noticed is when you're on board with Huis, Moran's car really twitches at the rear, so he might be increasing his tyre wear there also. He has to go careful. Patch to it, he is 10 seconds down the road in fact now.
Yeah, I'm going to stop watching him for now. I mean, we might all be wrong, but can be questions raised right there if this one sticks up. So Huis looks a little bit closer through this mid-sector. Moran's just getting a good run off these corners. Back through the field. Calamise right behind Pushka.
Looks like Suti and Dizzy had a slight moment as well as a slight bump. But they've sorted themselves out now. But yeah, it looks like there's a slight tap there. Disley has gone back to 14th, Suti's in 13th, and he's come under pressure is Disley from Gergo Boldi. They're covering Gergo Boldi, who we don't really know what happened to him. We believe it was a technical issue that put him backwards. Because he was in third. He was in third, and all of a sudden he just appeared in 17th. So you'd have to believe it was a technical issue as opposed to a mistake, because we would have seen drivers go past him if it was a mistake. And I was on board with quite a few drivers there, and I did not see anyone go by him.
think I know what it was. I think his screen might have gone back to the desktop or something.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he was going through the chicane, he went straight through the chicane, and then he kind of disappeared and came back on. He was 17th, so I'm assuming it was something like that, which is unfortunate for him. But he did cause the contact at turn 1, so maybe that might get rid of the wrath of the stewards.
Yes, possibly so. We'll have to wait and see what happens to him, though. But nevertheless, he's pushing, trying to get back through the field. He's got by Blair Dizzy now in the Biocross Positive Sim racing car, who had a good qualifying session once again in Biocross. Very impressive what these guys are doing at the moment, Biocross and the Positive Sim racing team all round, because they're new to the series, and you know, we're 8 races in now, and they're just starting to find their feet, and they're really starting to improve. We saw a good race from them yesterday in World Series as well, and these guys are really starting to improve. And it's fantastic to see fresh blood to the series, and actually starting to progress through the field. So kudos to Biocross Positive Sim Racing and all the guys there, because you're making it work at the moment, and hopefully Disley can progress forwards. And Marcel van der Linden, he's in 12th at the moment.
Yeah, nice drive from him. I'm just watching the fight
DeWitt's in, by the way. DeWitt has decided to pit. So he's coming back out again now.
Oh no. That's not what people want.
No, and he's come out. He's going to be in front of Marcel van der Linden, who I was just referring to in that 12th place. He's come out in 11th, and he's going to be chasing down Dion Kostadinov now.
He'll be in the lead by the end of the lap, don't worry about it.
Yeah, probably. We're not too sure. Again, variable fuel, these tyres. He's probably got back on soft tyres again as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, why not, right? If that's the case. But I'm watching Calamies and Pushka. That seems to be the closest fight right now. Burlak's right behind them both too, waiting for kind of a move from Calamies. Pushka has that extra lap on the tyres because he didn't do qualifying, but Calamies also only did a very slow lap. So Burlak needs to get by both of these guys sometime soon, because it seems like they're all kind of holding each other up because there's only one line through here.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a train happening behind Pushka at the moment, because Lebert and Simoncic have broken away. They're not on the same pace as the GT Omegas at the moment. Keithley and Van Starkenberg are basically just pulling each other along at the moment. They're 4.8 seconds behind the race leaders. So Simoncic, the man in 5th. DeWitt is past Kostadinov already. He's diving up the inside of Burlak at the final corner. But he didn't get that done, and he's coming out of the final corner now, and he'll just go straight by him. He does indeed.
Yeah, let him go.
I bet for any money. Oh no, look at that! Burlak's got the draft. In fact, that's worked for him, and dives up the inside of Burlak.
Lets him go.
He got him in the end. But DeWitt will now be on Ivar Calamies, and the process happens again, and we should see DeWitt carving his way through the field. There we go, round to the outside of turn 2, as you do. Sorry, turn 3, as you do.
Easy.
Yeah. It's alright. There's not even a car there, don't worry.
Yeah, I know. It's not like there's a race going on or anything.
No.
I just don't understand what's happening.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
This race is completely confusing in exactly what happened. I know we've got a lot of viewers watching at the moment, but we are as confused as you guys are watching.
I don't know what's going on with that car, but I can tell you it has not got the same stuff on as every other car. That's all I know, is that there's something going. Look at this, he's overtaking Pushka around the outside of here. Is he going to get him easily into here? Yeah, no problem. And it's going to at least bring this battle back now between Calamies, Pushka and Burlak, because that's a good fight that we're watching here. See if anybody can get by Philip Pushka.
Okay, I think what we'll do there is just leave Patrick DeWitt doing his thing, then we'll try and watch the rest of the race and understand what's going on for the rest of the guys. Out in front, we have our race leader, which is Morgan Ran. He's 6/10 in front of Bono Huis. Jack Keithley is 5.3 seconds behind Bono Huis, with Rob Van Starkenberg, his teammate, just behind. Simoncic is the 5th place man from Samuel Lebert, who is in 6th. There's a blank for 7th because there's some guy in 7th. Philip Pushka then is in 8th, with Ivar Calamies in 9th place, with Peter Burlak in 10th. Kostadinov is in 11th, with Marcel van der Linden in 12th. Sultan Suti is in 13th, with Gergo Baldi in 14th, still trying to recover after his technical issues. Looks like he's got some fairly solid race pace, but it's not made any sort of more impression. And Disley is then 15th, Mashudi 16th, Cabo 17th, Kolarec is in 18th, Boshoff 19th, Rondon 20th, Marconi 21st, and we still have all the drivers out there at the moment.
Yep. The guy that we need to watch right now is Zoltan Suti. He's right behind Marcel van der Linden, and he started at the back, and it looks like he has way more pace in that Faster Than Speed car. to overtake Van der Linden. So I would keep an eye on this because I think there's going to be a pass coming on this lap from Zoltan Suti, and that would move him into 12th place, which is pretty good, you have to say. He's already up to 12th, so we'll see whether he can, because there's a train in front of him. If he can catch up to the Pushka train, it's a little bit farther down the road, but if he can catch that train, Konstantinov is all over the back of Burlak now, right in front of Van der Linden. You can see it just from on board Suti, so we'll see whether Konstantinov can get past Burlak.
We'll have to wait and see if that can be done, but it looks like you've got game on for, what's this? This is over 4? No. Oh wow, Van Starkenburg's just run very deep in turn 1, got the cut back. It's De Witt that's gone by, and he's going to be on Keithley next. So Van Starkenburg and Keithley are the next men. So Simoncic has not really closed much more, and he's actually started to pull away from Liber a little bit. It's half-second the gap now. Philip Pushka is still under heavy fire from Ivar Kalamis, who had a good run through turn 4 there, heading towards turns 5 and 6. Will he make an impression up the inside? This is risky.
No, you can't do that. No.
Oh, I saw that happen yesterday because it didn't happen to me. But Ivar Kalamis has gone straight off at 5 and 6 as he tries to go up the inside of 5. And he's gone down. Where's he gone down to? 15th place now.
That's just frustration. Pushka was doing a good job at not really giving Kalamis any real place to pass. Kalamis saw a half effort. The problem with passing at that turn is nobody really brakes for it. Like, it's such a fast turn, you're barely on the brakes for it, so there's no time to overtake under braking.
The nature of the corner doesn't really allow you to overtake unless you're right alongside that driver, because it is a high-speed corner. Also, there's a bit of an undulation change right in the mid part of it. There's a big bump as the curb dips away. It's like an off-camber corner, and it dips right in the middle of it. And if you dip a wheel into that, what just happened to Ivar Kalamis. You spin. The rear of the car will not grip going through there, and it just sends you straight round. And it's a problem that the driver had on me yesterday, and also Kalamis. I just noticed that Huis is getting very close to Morgan Moran now.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. 7.4 seconds back to Keithley, so it's just these guys. Oh, I thought we were on again there for the second position guy going up the inside.
I think the team would have told him, don't do that. We just had a test of that one. That one didn't work, so it's not going to work on Moran if it doesn't work on Pushka. And that would have been so funny too. Precision on go speed once again, and don't try that second time round. But Huis, was very close there, but looks like Moran just pulling out that gap again before the straight, which is the real place to pass.
It absolutely is, and Moran is still going on, and a huge oversteer moment as well. He's really pushing as he comes down towards 14.
Dion Konstantinov is right behind Pushka because Kalamis was cleared out of the way, so Konstantinov looks like he's even quicker. So he's going to attack Pushka. Burlak is ahead of Pushka. I think that was always the case.
Oh, Huis is pitted. Huis has bit the bullet and he's decided to come in. So here we go. This is Huis trying to get the undercut.
Yeah.
This is the undercut for Huis. Can he get in and out? Because Moran will push on. The fuel is coming down for Moran. These tyres will get quicker. He's got De Witt for company, but Moran looks like he will be coming in. So now, where is Huis? Keithley's by, Van Sturken's by, Simoncic is by, Liber's by. Burlak is coming. He's coming down to turn 1. Huis, are you in clear air? He is. He's got into clear air. Oh, deep in turn 1. He's got it sorted out though. So he now has a 2.4 seconds fresh air to Liber, and De Witt is closing on Moran. We'll have to wait and see what Moran does now, because Keithley and Van Starkenburg, they've carried on also. So Huis was the first one to blink and make a pit stop. This is him trying to get the undercut. And he's got 2.4 seconds worth of undercut air to make up, to see if he can get the race lead from Morgan Moran. So Morgan Moran is carrying on now. Will he be at the end of this lap? Well, you'd have to believe so, Matt. He should be in at the end of this lap. Otherwise, he's going to lose too much time to Bono Huis. It all depends how fast an outlap Bono Huis has done now to see if he's got the undercut on Morgan Moran, and to see how quick Moran's pit stop is also. De Witt has not made any impression on the Moran, so that's worked nicely. And we'll have to see now. He's going to dive into pit lane. Yep. Yes, he does. De Witt's followed him. No, he's not. He's decided he was going to go into pit lane, and now he carried on. Moran is in, hits the pit lane speed limiter line, and hits his box. We wait and see now. Keithley comes around the final corner. So does Van Starkenburg. So does Simoncic. So does Liber. Huis is coming around the final corner. Where is Moran? Moran's coming down pit lane now. This is going to be very, very close.
He's got him.
And he's Lebert, and there goes Huis. Huis is taking the race lead by half a second. Staying out that lap longer has really cost Morgan Moran, and Bono Huis goes into the race lead. And he's trying to chase down Samuel Lebert. These guys in front are yet to make their stops. But Bono Huis is the race leader for Morgan Moran. Peter Burlack is in 8th place. With the overall second and third probably, because DeWitt has not pitted. So Keithley is in 2nd place, probably net first, we'd have to say, because of DeWitt's situation. And Van Starkenburg is in 3rd. Simoncic is 4th and closed. Lebert's the one that's dropped off. So Simoncic has got some good race pace because he's closed in on both GT Omegas.
That was beautifully done from Precision, you have to say. And Go Speed were kind of left with no choice to pit Morgan Moran. I mean, if he could have gone longer on the tyres, he might have wanted to just sacrifice losing 1st place. It wasn't even close. But, you know,
oh,
great.
wow, what a move, Huis! He just snatched that from Lebert. Lebert's got no rear grip. He's got absolutely no rear grip.
He's going to come under pressure from Moran now, too. And Lebert is just a sitting duck, really. And we won't fight this too hard, really. Moran didn't get by as quick as Huis, and this is going to play more into the advantage of Huis. And Lebert moves to pit lane, which I think was a good idea. He was running on rocks at the back of that car.
Lebert has pitted, but Huis got by him at a good time. He's now opened up the gap to a 2nd as Keithley hits his box. Keithley's in as well, so Lebert and Keithley are both in. Keithley's away. Where does he come out in relation? Huis is battling DeWitt.
Yeah, okay, DeWitt just pitted.
Yeah, he just pitted again. Okay, so DeWitt and Huis. In fact, that's cost Huis time. It was a 2nd, and it's now half a second between Huis and Moran. That's cost him time. Where do the other guys come out? Keithley's come out into clear air in front of Carbo, 3 seconds to Disley. That's worked for Keithley.
We've got Jojo Baldi and Ivar Calames coming out the pits together. They're way down 17 and 18 because of the incidents. We'll go back to this fight between what we think is the race lead between Bono Huis and Morgan Moran.
He's right behind
Moran,
it.
Can he get back by? He has to go for it now. DeWitt looks like he's slowed down a bit. Is DeWitt gone with the hard tyres now? Oh, what's going on with that car? But he doesn't seem to have the same electric pace.
I'm not sure, but we could have variable strategy here because Moran may have pitted for softs and using the soft now because he looks very, very fast.
There goes DeWitt, okay.
DeWitt's gone by Simoncic. Simoncic is yet to pit. Simoncic is yet to pit.
Oh!
And Huis has to go careful because Moran's on the inside. Oh, they're all together. What's Simoncic going to do? Simoncic, he pits. Simoncic is in the pit lane. So Huis and Moran are together. Oh, what's DeWitt doing? DeWitt slowed right on the apex and it held Huis up.
He's running away.
Really held Huis up there.
And Moran has DeWitt slipstream. Moran's going to get the lead of the race. Is he? Because still side by side they touch. They're still side by side now for 2 or 3 corners. Looks like Huis might hold on. This will be great driving from Bono Huis.
Huis has got him. He's going around the outside. Can Huis hold round the outside of turn 3 towards turn 4?
Wow.
I'm not entirely sure what DeWitt's doing at the moment, but he's very, very slow. And Moran's got the run up towards turn 5. But Bono Huis has kept it. Huis has kept it. Now what's he going to do now? He's got the inside. Can he do it? No, and he's no contact either. That's good work from Morgan Moran. Control it. Oh, huge stop of oversteer. DeWitt is very, very slow at the moment. This is really hurting Huis and Moran.
Right
he's over the curve. Moran's on the inside. Moran's up the inside. He's got him. He's got him. Oh, I'm not too sure what he's going on with Patrick at the moment, but he is so slow compared to these guys. He's really having a bit of a nightmare. Van der Linden's in the man at the moment. Oh, and DeWitt's finally moved out the way.
Wow.
He nearly worked out. What are you saying, in fact, coming back on the track? That was so close.
Not sure what's going on with that car today. We just need to get that car into the garage and just nail it there because that should not be out on the track. No. But Bono Huis is now right behind. He's going to be so upset because he didn't really do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just DeWitt was just in the way, and then Moran. I mean, great driving from Moran, you have to say, but Huis did not do anything wrong to lose the lead of this race.
You have to find it slightly ironic as well that when Huis was leading, that DeWitt didn't move, but when Moran was leading, DeWitt moved. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
He's got out of the way, but as soon as he came back on track, he was so close to getting into Huis as well. And DeWitt's picked up his pace again as well. He's right with these guys still, but Huis is really pushing behind Morgan Moran at the moment.
Yeah, and you see, Huis was a little bit rattled, but he's got right back on it. He's taking different lines to really get good exits off these corners. He's going to try and attack Moran right back, because I think Huis has a little bit more pace than Moran at the end of the stints. Moran seemed to be holding on nicely at the start, but then Ruiz was pretty much all over him, just couldn't close in. And when Ruiz locks up and he's under pressure from DeWitt, I mean, I feel bad for DeWitt if this is...
Oh, he's gone.
Okay.
I think Race Direction have had enough. Yeah, okay. I think Race Direction have essentially they've given him a black flag. They've basically given a black flag, which has meant he's no longer in the server. But this has completely screwed Ruiz's race. Let's just recap what's happened there. Ruiz pitted 1 lap earlier than Morgan Moran, got the undercut by about half a second to a second after he came out of pit lane. Moran then cruised up behind after DeWitt was in the way essentially. Moran got by, and as soon as Moran got by, DeWitt then moved out the way, and Moran now leads the race, and Ruiz has got to do all that work that he did in that round of pit stops again. The whole thing restarts now. Since that's happened, there's been a lot more pit stops. Jack Keithley's the man in 3rd now, with Rob van Starkenburg in 4th. He's 1 second behind. Simoncic is the man in 5th. Disley's 6th, but yet to pit. And Lebert is 7th.
Ruiz is right with him, but I think that was a good decision. I think, we all had a laugh, we all had a joke, but at the end of the day, when it starts to cost these guys who put so much work and time in, it starts costing and affecting results of the race, then, you got to remove him, and we'll continue from there. It's the last thing we'll talk about with DeWitt. So Moran leads this race to Ruiz. Ruiz, I mean, are they going to do the undercut again, trying to get that back? It worked beautifully last time.
Just on one final point with DeWitt, obviously we know what we just seen in the race, and we don't need to go on so about him, but we really didn't expect that to happen. So we will move forwards and try and treat this race as a fresh start from lap 20 now and see what can happen. But yes, essentially now Precision's choice and chance now is the fact that they're going to have to work very, very hard. Ruiz is going to have to work as hard as he has on any other point in the race. And he's going to have to try and close in on Moran. Now he's getting close to him. Can he actually pass him on track? Oh, wow, I want to move up the inside. Can he get it done? He's parked it right on the apex. Can he get the exit? He has got the exit. Now can he go around the outside of turn 3? This is risky. He's pushing him very, very close to the edge of the track. Oh, look at this. Bono Ruiz round the outside. Power zone Morgan Moran. He's still got the position. Great side-by-side driving from both drivers there. They were very, very close in turn 1, very close together. I'm not too sure if there was any contact, but my word, they were close.
That was sensational defensive driving from Moran. Have to give him credit there. He didn't just go deep into 2, he went really, really deep, and he forced Bono Ruiz off the rubber, off the racing line, and Ruiz just had no grip to get the outside pass. If you go too far, you have no grip left. And Moran, brilliant defensive driving there, and a great attempt of a pass from Ruiz. So these two are at it today. We thought they would be 1,000th apart in qualifying, and we're having a cracking race here between these two. And Ruiz, this isn't over yet. He's going to be back.
Yeah, he will be back in our 50-lap race, we'll call it now, is coming to a pretty hectic point as Ruiz and Moran have barely been apart the entire race. The gap back to 3rd is now 8.2 seconds. Big oversteer moment for Ruiz, and he's actually lost the draft to Moran. He's getting close, but I don't think he'll get close enough into turn 1. No, he doesn't. Wow, Ruiz is late on the brakes. He's so late on the brakes behind Moran. Gets very close to him, but can't get the job done. Keithley is the man at the moment in 3rd place. Simoncic is 4th, with Van Starkenburg in 5th. Now, Simoncic has made his stop. He's in the 23s. 23.8, so he's just got very good race pace. Oh, Ruiz has got to run up towards turn 4. This is going to be very, very close. Moran holds on and cut back for Ruiz. Can he go around the outside again? No, he can't. He just cannot find a way past that Ghost Speed car at the moment. He is trying every which way, but Moran is placing his car where he needs to at the moment. There's been a little bit of contact, a little bit of rubbing, but they've got away with it. Well, just about got away with it anyway. Ruiz is right up behind Moran though, and he is pushing. I bet both drivers, in fact, are pretty angry at this point after what happened earlier in the race. But
yeah, the
red mist is down, and these two are absolutely gunning it.
You can just tell, you can tell both of these drivers want and feel like they should be in the lead of this race. Moran is still upset at the whole turn 1 contact, and Ruiz is obviously upset with the incident earlier. So we'll see what happens again. Ruiz has found some brilliant lines, though, behind Moran, you have to say. Moran gets a good exit off that corner, but Ruiz is a little bit closer, and we know how good Ruiz is on the brakes.
into turn 1. He gets the slipstream and the toe. On the brakes into turn 1. Here goes Huis. And Moran just cuts and closes the door. But Huis has been brilliant round turn 2. He's found a new line. He goes really wide. And then he stops and cuts back. This time he goes up the inside and dives sideways. And he pushes Moran wide. And he's sideways on the grass. And Huis is
there
going
you
to...
go. He gave the position back. Yeah, that was a gentlemanly move. He gave the position back because he knew he made contact with him.
Yeah,
now Moran
very
didn't do that. Yeah, Moran didn't do that to Baldy early in the race, so that may come back to bite Moran. But that was a gentlemanly move to actually let him go back by. But they were very, very close. Moran has to be careful under braking as well because he's actually moving in the braking zone of turn 1 as he's hitting the brakes. But they're very, very close together. Moran is doing absolutely everything he can to hold this position and hold his line. But Huis is so fast, so good under braking that it's getting very, very difficult for Moran.
This is great. I mean, both these drivers must be upset, but I mean, they must be having so much fun. This is fantastic racing between these two. They're so close. Moran is sideways again off the third to last turn.
The GT Omega driver of Jack Keithy's actually pulled a second while these guys have been battling. They pulled a second.
Wow, he might come into it, so it might come back to hurt them, yeah.
Yeah, Simoncic is got by Van Starkenburg and he is making a move. He's getting very, very close to Keithy. I'm not too sure what the... Oh, here we go. This is on for the race lead once again. Bonnequist down into turn 1. Again, Moran moves under braking towards the apex. He's got to go careful with that sort of type of move because Huis is really up the inside. He got the job done, though, and covered off the line. He's defended.
Watch this. Watch
wow, round the outside. Round the outside.
Watch
Can you hold
this.
it, Bonnequist? Oh, wow.
Moran is not giving him anything. He's pushed him off.
Yeah, he nerfed him right the way onto the grass there. He was trying round the outside. He nearly got the job done, but not quite. And Huis is getting ever closer to Moran, but he still cannot get it done.
I think you have to say Moran is currently driving legally, but I don't know whether fairly.
Legally, yeah, he's right on the very, very limit.
Line.
Yeah, he's right on the very, very limit of what he's doing in terms of the braking manoeuvres. He's got to go careful, but my word, he is defending for his life at the moment.
Callum is up to 9th.
Yeah, Callum has moved up. Simoncic is getting close to the second GT Mega car of Jack Keithy. He's passed one already of Rob Van Starkenburg. Peter Burlak and Samuel Lebert are 6th and 7th. They're the Twisted Racing drivers. Callum has passed Kostadinov and trying to close them down. It's a case of now what can they... And Philip Pushka's the man in 10th. Baldy's worked his way back up to 11th. After Disley pitted, he came out in 15th place. So they're very, very close on track, all these guys at the moment. I thought there'd be a lull in the race. There clearly isn't.
No.
Huis has pulled out and tried to cool. He's gone for a cooler line there because he's not made any sort of move. So he's probably going to... I suspect what Huis will do is back it down and then go again.
Yeah, I think he's trying to cool his engine. It's pretty clear what he's doing right now. You obviously want to be in a slipstream to make a pass. So whenever he pulls out of the slipstream, which he does right now, you see he's just half a car length to the inside, just trying to cool that engine. And like I said, he'll cool it down and he'll come back again for another fight. This is going to be a great race. We apologise to everybody else behind. We can't really watch them because this fight between the first two is so enthralling. We're not really too sure what's going on behind.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a lot, but we're trying to keep up. We're trying to keep up with what's going on behind as well. And it's Simoncic that's the man that's closing on Keithy. This is going to be over 3rd place for the Yash Racing team. Rob Van Starkenburg is is holding in the position because Burlak and Lebert are closing. Calamise has passed Kostadinov and he's the man in 8th place. Now he's got to try and chase down both of the Twister Racing cars. He's 4.2 seconds back. Now what's going on with Huis and Moran out in front? They're very, very close once again. 4/10 is what splits them. A big moment of oversteer again for Moran. Good exit though for Moran. Better one for Huis. Again, he's pulled to the right-hand side and not closing on him. So maybe just cooling the engine, cooling the brakes, making sure everything's under control because I'm sure he's abusing those brakes a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, he's made some late passes and he's really good on those brakes, so he needs them to be working well. I'm watching Giorgio Baldi because he's right behind Philip Pushka. I think there might be a move here for P10. Pushka goes defensive on the straight and Baldi, here he comes. He's trying to move his way back up through the field after the early incident. We know his pace. Pushka goes very deep on the brakes. Baldi's going to try and get the undercut. Pushka goes to the inside. So here we go into turn 2. Side by side with Baldi and Pushka. Baldi trying to go on the outside. Pushka pushes him a little bit wide, but Baldi looks like he might have it. It's the side by side is the next kink. It doesn't work, and great driving from Pushka to lift off, and Pushka still has it. He still has it up the inside. Again, this won't work side by side. And now Baldi has it. Wow.
Good work from Gogo Baldi there. He's got the position, but Zoltan Shuti is now trying to make a move on Filip Pushka. Oh! I thought he was going to nail him out of that corner then, but he couldn't. Done up towards turns 5 and 6, but he just powered on too early and got a little bit sideways, so it's not worked for him there. Gogo Baldi's now in 10th. Kostanov's closing in on Calamise again, so Calamise is pushing on, but can't get the job done at the moment. Morgan Rando is the man out front from Bono Hui's half-second back, so they've just cooled off towards the front at the moment. Simoncic is really getting close to Keithley, and Van Starkenberg's had a great few laps because he's reeled in Simoncic. Burlak from Liber, Calamise has dived into pit lane. Variable strategy. Wow. The Precision Motorsports cars split their strategies, and Calamise is back into pit lane.
What a save from Zoltan Shuti. Watch that back. What a save to keep it out of the wall. Great driving from him. He's going to have to come back and attack Van der Linden, who's having a great drive in 12th. He seems to be avoiding all the carnage. But yeah, Calamise is into the pits. Van der Linden's going to be attacking Pushka next.
Yeah, he's... let's see where he's just come out. Disley, Mashuli and Carver were having a bit of a scrap there also. They got that sorted out. So Calamise has come out in 16th place, but in clear air. That's crucial for him. He's in clear air at the moment for about 3 seconds anyway before he gets the scrap between Disley, Mashuli and Zuat Carbo as well. So he's going to get very, very close to them before they make their stops anyway. As Moran is still in front of Huis. The gap's come back down a little bit, so Huis is starting to push again to try and get onto the back of Morgan Moran.
Very close again. We'll see. We're basically waiting for Huis to not pull out at the slipstream to really see when Huis wants to attack Moran again. And you see this time round, he is right in there.
Yeah, he's getting very, very close to him. Can he get him in the braking zone? Not this time. Simoncic has just made it dive into pit lane. So he's coming again. So a variable strategy also from Ash Racing. Him and Ivar Calamise doing quite similar things at the moment. As Huis is pushing again. And he is on the back of Morgan Moran. So it's round, 7, 8, 9 between these guys.
This is round 12. And oh, look, there's nowhere to go. Smart moving from Huis to just lift off. He tried to look left and look right. There was nothing there. It's amazing how the closing speed of Huis is so much greater, and yet he hasn't managed to hit contact with that Ghost Speed car yet. Great reflexes and reactions from Huis every single time on the brakes.
Very impressive. It's the way he brakes as well. It's so much deeper than what Moran can do. And we've seen a couple of times he's come from 2 to nearly 3 tenths back on a dive into turn 1, but been close enough just because of this braking ability alone. Moran has pulled a gap there, so Moran's had a good few corners there. But again, look at the braking. Look at the braking again. Down towards turn 14. He closes up. He's going to close up for the next few corners once again as well. Keithley, Burlak and Liber are now 5th and 6th, and Kostadanov has got some clear air from Baldi and Pushka with Van der Linden in 10th.
Here we go, round 10, I think you said. Moran surely has to go defensive. He will. He'll move out of the way of Huis on the brakes. Right round the outside, heavy braking, but goes a little bit deep. And Moran holds that position once again. Round 11 coming up, maybe into the next turn. And Moran has it once again, but yeah, I think that's the problem with Precision's car in the middle sector. It's so good on the brakes, but the middle sector, you barely use the brakes. The whole thing is so flowing. And here we go again, Moran, and Huis looks to the outside. Moran places his car in the middle. I mean, again, that's legal, but barely. And Huis is looking for a pass going into here. Moran slows it down on the exit. Great defensive driving, Huis. You can't pass into here. Huis, of course, has the championship lead, so doesn't want to throw anything away by trying to pass on Moran.
No, but he wants to certainly try and get by him, because the more points he can gain over Morgan Moran, the better, because that was always going to be the man that was going to be the heaviest championship threat. But at the moment, actually, it's fact that Ivar Calamise is in second place in the championship. But at the moment, he's just made a stop and he's way down in 16th place. And he's caught Carbo and Mashuli as well. So we should see the other Precision car getting very, very close to these guys fairly shortly. If not now, as Moran and Huis still battle.
No, he was going to pits.
No, it looks like he's carried on. He's definitely carried on. Huis.
Here we go.
Here we go again. This is game on. He's in the slipstream. Moran defended the inside last time. He's not this time. Oh, he's left it. He left the door wide open. It goes deep, too deep for Huis there. Cut back Moran. So Huis, he tried, but he went too deep into turn 1 this time and couldn't get the job done. Nevertheless, Moran is holding station, and he's playing Huis, and he's saying, look, you can go and do that, but I'll get the cut back.
What a move from Moran. Huis? No, what a move from Moran to just give him the inside. That's equivalent to a bluff in poker. It's like he shows him the door, look at it, go for it, and he knows that Huis will go for it, and he gets a little bit too excited, goes a little bit deep, and Moran says, no, I'll take it right back. But that's so brave to give Bono Huis the inside when he's so good on the brakes. I mean, it worked out, but that is a big all-in bluff from Morgan Moran going into turn 1, just trying to get in the head of Huis and confuse him a bit, I think.
Jack Keithley, in the meantime, has closed to 6.5 seconds. That was nearly out at 9 at one stage. Because these guys battling, he's closed in quite a lot.
If these two have an incident, Keithley can smell a victory here, I feel.
Well, these guys are battling so heavily, you have to believe that he's certainly going to close the gap on them. 7 seconds to the race lead, 6.6 to Huis, who's just backed off slightly. But he's going again now. Yeah, he's pulled out into some clear air. Every time he does it, he has more than 3/10 or 2.5 tenths to 3/10. Then he pulls out and goes for clear air. If he's close enough, then he'll go for the pass. So it's clever driving from Bono Huis there to make sure everything keeps cool. But Keithley is closing on them. And Van Starkenburg is 2 seconds behind Keithley. And Peter Burlack is 8 tenths behind Van Starkenburg. So the Twister cars are actually they've come to life a little bit in this mid-stint. So as the fuel comes out, these Twister cars are getting quicker and quicker. Good job from Twister at the moment.
Yeah, you have to say we haven't talked about them a lot, but they're in the middle. I guess this is the middle of the race lull. It's not really a lull. I'll take this any day of the week if this is the worst that it gets, the action on the track. But yeah, in this middle part of the race, the Twisters just kind of quietly getting on with their program here.
They are indeed. They're just going about their business and getting the job done. And they are closing on the GT Omega of Rob Van Starkenburg. It's a case now to see what he can do. Moran, though, he's the one that leads the way from Bono Huis. And Huis is still pushing, but the gap's opened up quite a lot now. It's up to 7 tenths, so I think Huis has just started to reel it in a little bit and give himself some breathing space.
We've got some
as Moran goes for another lap.
Sorry, we got some action going on. 14th, 15th place. Masculi defending for his life against Calamise. Calamise is further back down. They pitted. So Masculi is now defending against the fast Ivar Calamise. 2nd place in the championship. Calamise needs to try and get some points here today and hope that maybe Huis gets involved in an incident. But the thing is, they're teammates, so of course he won't hope that. Of course he won't hope that. Secretly maybe might, though.
Well, that's who's out into pit lane. That's Philip Pushka. So Philip Pushka for Ghost Speed's just dived into pit lane. And he'll carry on now to see who's going through the rest of the field. It's the 2 GT Omegas in 3rd and 4th, and the 2 Twisters. Out of the race lead, those Morgan Moran and Bono Huis. 1st and 2nd. She said Calamise. Ooh, that's very close to Masciuli.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good defensive driving and a lot of aggressive defensive driving, but he just leaves it beautifully done by Calamise. Just left him that space, but it's not going to be enough. And Masculi lives to fight another day, and he's going to have to give Calamise room round the outside of this turn. Calamise! Does he go? Oh, 4 wheels off, and Masculi hits the wall, but he's still going round, and they spun, and that's it. Still going, though. Wow.
Still, it's still going. We've got a game on for the 2nd undercut. Bono Huis is the first man to pit. Huis is into pit lane now. He hits his box, so he's going for the undercut again. Now this time he's got to see where he comes out in traffic. These guys, remember, they had the DeWitt incident. They've been battling quite hard. This might not work for him because he might come out into traffic. Where's he going to come out? Burlack goes by. Lebert's going to come by now. Yeah, he's come out behind Samuel Lebert. That's not really worked in terms of traffic there for Bono Huis this time round. He really could have done with some clear air than that. But at the moment, Huis is now got to navigate his way round both Twister cars, while Morgan Moran is out in front, just driving and doing his thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, last time it wasn't even close. So this just might make it closer. And Marconi does a very good job of getting out of the way there, we should mention. Lap behind and does a great job of getting out of the way, and Huis has already got by Lebert, so now Huis has a little bit of room behind this. So he lost a little bit in the start of the lap, but the second part of the lap
he's going to be able to close in a bit. Will Moran pit this time round? Surely has to, knowing Ruiz was in traffic.
You would have to think so. He's coming up to the second to last corner now, turn 15. Is he going to pull right into pit lane? No, he doesn't. He's going to carry on.
Wow.
So he's going for a longer stint here. He's going longer than what Bonacuisse has done. But Cuisse, remember, he's the one that's in traffic, relatively speaking, in comparison to the two Twister racing cars. So Cuisse will need to navigate those. He's got one of them in Lebert, and now it's Burlac. He's trying to chase down. Has Lebert had a slight moment there?
Looked like it. But yeah, Moran didn't pit. Interesting. Maybe he feels like with the traffic he can get a few laps longer out of the tyres, or I mean, surely he's going to give up the lead of this race, but you know, maybe he'll have less on his tyres later on. Or interesting strategy from GoSpeed to not just leave Moran out there defending the track position. They're obviously going to try and give him some help strategy-wise at winning this race rather than just defending from the front. But Moran's done such a good job defending. I don't know if I'd change it.
No, it looks like he's going for a longer stint, certainly at the moment. It may be different on tyre strategy, what they opt to do, but yeah, Moran is the one that's pushing at the moment, and Cuisse is the one that's going to be stuck in traffic behind Peter Burlac. He's got to navigate first Twister Racing car, then it's the sister team of GT Omega, Rob van Starkenburg, and then the other car of Jack Keithley. So those two should not be so difficult, but it's Burlac the one who's got to get by first.
See what type of times Ruiz is doing in the traffic, because it looks like Moran is still doing 23.2s. So we'll see when Ruiz comes round to finish this lap. Does Moran pit? No?
No, he's carried on.
Okay, so yeah, we expect him to get past Starkenburg and Keithley easy. He'll get past Burlac at the end of here.
23.0.
So he's still catching.
Lap. So yeah. He was stuck behind Burlac pretty much that entire lap, and he's braked deep into turn 1. He's got by Burlac on the cutback though. Can he get that done? No, the Twister Racing driver can't get it done, so Cuisse goes into 4th place. He still did 23.0 and he was stuck behind Burlac, so
yeah,
we'll have to see now what sort of pace he can do, because he's now going to catch a sister team of GT Omega of Keithley and Van Starkenburg, and unfortunately we've lost Giuseppe Marconi there now as well.
Yeah, I think he decided to call that one a day. Car didn't look like it was running too hot, but it's a shame we lose that guy. But yeah, Ruiz is surely going to get this position. Now the question is, how far can Moran go on those tyres? If Moran, you know, he might as well now. I don't think he's going to come out ahead of Ruiz, because Ruiz was beating his times in traffic. So how much longer can you leave Moran out there? And maybe later on you can really start attack Ruiz. Yeah,
we're on for this variable strategy again, I believe. Now this is the point where the lull might happen, with Cuisse and Moran doing different things on strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Van Starkenburg's lifted, in fact, before turn 15, and it's let Bonacuisse straight the way through. He's not lost a great deal of time to Burlac. Oh, in fact, that's worked because Burlac's pitted. So Van Starkenburg can carry on and now has a gap back to Samuel Lebert of around 2.4 seconds. So that's one GT Omega dispatched. Cuisse now has to catch Jack Keithley. And he's 1.1 seconds behind him.
I wonder whether it was Precision being a little bit early on the trigger, trying to get Cuisse out front, or whether it's Moran going longer than expected on these tyres. It's interesting. Maybe Cuisse just was a little bit early on the trigger trying to get that place, and Moran was like, okay, that's fine, I'll just stay out there and do the tyres. But it maybe looks like we're going to get what we saw in the World Series, where Moran might try and go longer and put the softs on at the end, and Cuisse is going to have to go with the hards, but he's catching right now. So we'll have to see that one out. Moran could do with going another couple laps longer, and then we'll again have to go long next stint. So this is where Cuisse needs to pull out the time and catch up.
He's right behind Jack Keithley now. In the last lap he did was a 1:22.7, so that's pretty significantly quicker than what Moran had done. But he's behind the GT Omega of Jack Keithley at this moment in time. Keithley lifts slightly going down towards 14 and gets out the way. And Morgan Moran, here we go, Moran's into pit lane now.
Yeah,
so,
he needed to. His last lap was 24.2. He really started to lose time.
Yeah, he lost quite a lot of time. Oh yeah, you're right, he did lose a lot of time there. So Cuisse now goes through. He will take the race lead. But obviously we're on very, massive oversteer from Cuisse there as well. He goes through and takes the race lead, but now variable strategy will play out. It's a case of what can Cuisse do on these tyres. Moran is released from pit lane, and he is in front of Lebert. Yes, he is. So he's into relatively clear air. The man he's got to chase down now is Rob van Starkenburg, who's yet to pit. Simoncic and Burlak are side by side. That's over P5. Burlak has moved up position. That's him into 5th. And Keithley came up behind those two in 7th place. So he needs to get by those two yet. Also, because they've not pitted. And Lebert has also not pitted. So Moran is in 3rd. But when Van Starkenburg pits, he will be in 2nd place.
Interesting, yeah. Pushka did a very fast lap, but he's really not been able to do a whole lot. He's in P11 now, and Pushka really hasn't been able to make any impact on this race in the middle. So, you know, put him on for a top 10, but he's going to be the lower half of that top 10. Van der Linden's having a good drive. He has to pit, though. He's going to be on the verge of the top 10. And then you have Baldy and Calamies coming back through the field, so we'll see whether they can end up.
Yeah, Keithley closing in on Simoncic as well now because of the, obviously fresher tyres. He's getting very, very close to the Yas Racing driver. So we should see a battle on for 6th and 7th momentarily as Samuel Lebert has entered pit lane now. Rob van Starkenburg's carried on as Morgan Moran is starting to close on Rob van Starkenburg. But Lebert is in. Burlak goes through. Simoncic is through. And here we go, Keithley. This is over 5th place. Can he go up the inside of Simoncic? Brakes very, very, very late. Yes, he can. Good move there from Jack Keithley on the GT Omega on the Ash Racing car. Keithley goes up into 5th place. Van der Linden goes through. Lebert has come out in 8th into some good clear air. He's got to chase down Van der Linden, who's also yet to stop. Moran is right behind Van Starkenburg. This is over 2nd place. And this will probably help Huis a little bit because Van Starkenburg is going a bit slower at this moment in time due to his tyres. So Van Starkenburg is assisting Huis here.
Yeah.
As Huis is trying to pull away. It looks like Van Starkenburg, he should be in momentarily, I would have thought also. And yeah, good run there. Oh, big oversteer from a run there.
He went too narrow into that corner, trying to, I'm not sure why he was trying to make a pass into there. He needs to be a little bit more patient on Van Starkenburg. He'll get him on the straight. But yeah, that almost cost him the race. He almost put it in the wall because his car just suddenly snapped. And great driving in the end. Van Starkenburg kind of moves out of the way.
No, he oversteered. He's run out of grip. He should have pit. He really needs to pit then. He's Van Starkenburg's run out of grip and he oversteered into the corner. He's now got to go side by side with Moran. Moran's got the better grip into turn 1 and he goes through back into 2nd place. The gap between Huis and Moran is 4.8 seconds.
Moran again came back onto the line on the outside and just cut Rob Van Starkenburg off. And you know, again, I mean, borderline legal. It's just these little things, you know, lose you a little bit of respect with your drivers that you're racing against, and in the end will cost you in the scene of a championship because, you know, where you saw Huis a couple times, people would give him the inside and nobody would give Moran the inside. And it's just little things about respect like that. And you see, yeah, no grip for Van Starkenburg. He's ice skating.
It's gone. And you can also tell now the fact that Van Starkenburg is losing this grip, but Morgan Moran, the big thing I've noticed here today with a lot of these drivers, I mean, I know the nature of the track doesn't present a lot of overtaking, but there's a serious lack of patience with some of these drivers here today. Real indiscipline from a lot of drivers in terms of their patience in trying to make these moves, trying to make rash moves in places that really don't need to be done. You just need to wait for the area that it can be done in. Van Starkenburg, will he finally pit? Yes.
I think good decision there. I think we've had enough of the ice skating. It's time to get some tyres on.
Yes, but that might have been 1 lap too long for Rob Van Starkenburg.
Yep. Definitely was.
Burlak goes through. Keithley goes through also. He's still in pit lane. Simoncic goes through. Lebert, oh wow, where's he? It's going to put Rob Van Starkenburg in Lebert. He's going behind Lebert, is he? Oh yeah, he's dropped back quite a lot there. This has hurt him. Simoncic has gone by him, and so's Lebert. Well, Simoncic was already in front of him, but he's lost a lot of time to Simoncic and fallen behind Lebert. So that's not really worked for Van Starkenburg.
Nope, hasn't really worked. He stayed out a lap too long. Last laps for Huis and Moran. 22.4 for Huis, 22.4 for Moran. Gap's 5.5. So those guys are back equal again. This is where we would expect them to be equal again. but then Ruiz will pit earlier than Moran, and that's where Ruiz will pull out that gap. And he needs to get the gap, try and double that 5-second gap to 10 seconds, because for the final 10 laps, if Moran can put the softs on, he'll be gaining over a second a lap. So Ruiz really needs to pull that gap out we saw yesterday.
Yes, you say that, but I'm not sure that Moran went long enough in that stint to be able to do that. He might have to go a very long time on soft tyres if that's the option he's taking. That might have been a little bit too long for him. 22.3 there from both drivers. 22.3, sorry, from both drivers. So on lap 42 of this 70-lap race, it's Barney Priest that leads the way from Morgan Moran in second place. Peter Burlack's now the man in third for Twister Racing, and Jack Keithley in fourth. Simon Chich for Astra Racing is in fifth, with Samuel Lebert in sixth position. Rob van Starkenburg has fallen backwards. He's now seventh place man for GT Omega. Gergo Baldi, after his recovery after that horrible technical issue that he had at the start where he went from third to 17th, he's recovering currently in 8th place for Brem GP. Ivar Calamise has had a eventful race to say the least, and he's currently down in 9th place. And Zoltan Schutte is in 10th place. Blair Disley is 11th for Bicross Positive Sim Racing, and his teammate is only 1.8 seconds behind him. That's Marcel van der Linden. Iras Mashuli is in 13th place, with Philip Prushka in 14th. Dylan Kostadanov is in 15th place for Crown 7 Netrex. Zuhait Carbo is in 16th place, with Moises Rondon in 17th, with Kolarec quite close to him for Pescara, not too far behind at all in fact. And the retirements are Giuseppe Marconi, Boschov, and they're the two retirements in fact at the moment. We also had the DeWitt retirement.
Okay, so I've been looking at the strategies.
Flag, sorry.
Yeah, black flag. I've been looking at the strategy of Morgan Moran, and I think he can do it. He went 21 laps last stint on those tyres, and he pitted on lap 38, so that'll bring it to lap 59, so he'll have to go just over 10 on the soft. So I think he can do it. It's close, but I think he can manage it. If he can get one more lap, you gotta. We saw yesterday Van Starkenburg did 10 laps, but the last two he really lost performance. So you're looking at 8 laps being the prime for the softs. So he's not going to be able to run softs full the whole way. He won't be able to push lights out with them. But I think he can do it, and I think that's what he's going for, because I don't think Ruiz can do that.
Well, we need to evaluate this in the other sense as well, is the fact that Ruiz arguably was quicker behind Moran. So if Ruiz is quicker now, he'll probably pull the gap to Moran, and when Ruiz probably pits for potentially another set of hards, the gap that he has to make up at the end is going to be too much. So he may have put himself in a position where he can't close on Ruiz quick enough, which is always a risk.
He needs to be 10 seconds or under to have a chance. So he still has 4.8 seconds to play with. So it's not all over. The real question is, Ruiz is going to have about 6 or 7 laps on those new tyres when Moran's on the old tyres. So Moran can't go longer than, he can't make that mistake and go too long because he'll lose too much time. So yeah, you made a good point there, but I think he can do it.
He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He can't go too long on these tyres, but he can't go too early on the softs.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's really in a bit of a bind there of how long he actually runs those soft tyres for.
Lebert all over the back of Simonich like a rash through turn 5. I have to change my my turns here. I used the I used the 1A concept yesterday and not the turn 2, so I'm changing it round today. I'm open to I'm a Democrat, so I'm
just
open
the track
to
guide
vote.
I had. Just the track guide I had. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a Democrat. I'm open to either way, so it's fine. We'll run it that way around. But if I get the turns mixed up, that's the reason why. But yeah, Lebert was all over the back of Simonich. I'm not sure whether it was Simonich that made the pass on Lebert, and that's the reason why, or whether Lebert is still going to be attacking Simonich. I have to keep an eye on that one.
Burlack's made his stop. He's pitted from 3rd place. There's the Twister Racing driver diving into pit lane now on at lap 44. Hits his box, and he will fall behind Keithley. Simoncic should go by also, along with Liber, which that battle still raging at the moment. So his teammate goes by. Where's Van Starkenberg? He's got that position back as well. So Burlak has come out in 7th place in front of Gergo Baldi.
Yeah, Morand is now catching Huis a little bit, and Huis needs to just... Morand is stuck between a rock and a hard place, but Huis just needs to be careful, because he still needs to really be opening out this gap right now, or at least matching it, because at the end, when everything's said and done and Morand puts those softs on, Huis is going to have absolutely nothing for him, so he's going to be a sitting duck, so Huis needs the gap to be big enough. Disley just went up the inside of Pushka.
Yeah, the advantage that Morand has at the moment is the fact his tyres are 3-4 laps younger than what Huis is doing as well, so he's probably going for that mid-phase point with his tyres and it might come back towards him. Liber has closed on Simoncic a little bit more, but the race leader is Bon Huis and Morgan Morand in 2nd place. Jack Keithley's in 3rd. A great battle emerging between Simoncic and Liber. This is over 4th and 5th positions. Ash Racing versus Twister Racing. Let's see if Liber can get any closer through the final corner and get a drive. He needs to be in around about 2 to 3/10 range. He's in a 3/10 range and a little bit wider than Simoncic. Now, can he get close going towards turn 1? He's going to get very, very close, in fact. How late can he dare on the brakes? He dares there late, but not enough. Simoncic holds the position and holds on to currently 4th place. And Van Starkenberg is 2.8 seconds back from these guys.
Yeah, the Van Starkenberg, they're going the lap too long and the tyres have hit the cliff, hurt him, but we expect him to come back. So he's had the pace to match Keithley today, and Keithley's having a very solid drive, looking to get on the podium. Here comes Liber on Simonic. Simonic saw that coming, which was good. He didn't pull back out, because, you know, Liber would have had a go, and there's not really any room through there. Simonic places his car in the middle, and there's nowhere at all for Liber to go through there. That's perfectly legal. In order to do that, Simonic will argue that's his line. But yeah, it's some great... Liber actually touched Simonic out of turn 1 because Simonic has been so good at stopping the car on the apex. It's so crucial to do to avoid the undercut. But here we go. You can pass into this turn easier than you can pass into turn 5. But Simonic sees it coming again and gets sideways. That car looks like it's all over the place right now.
Absolutely does. Simoncic is really struggling for rear grip there. Liber is pushing, and he's pushing hard behind Simoncic. Now, can he get a better run through the final corner? He'll be in a dirty air. Can you get a good drive out the final corner? Oh, he does get a good drive. Now, this is game on towards turn 1. Simoncic ran very wide and went straight back across the track. Liber will go to the inside. Yes, he does. Late move. Good move from Liber there. Up the inside he goes. Can he get it stopped on the apex? Yes. He's past Simoncic. So, Liber for Twister Racing up to 4th place. Simoncic is in 5th now. And Van Starkenberg has closed the gap to 1.5 seconds. So, Van Starkenberg is coming at them.
Great pass from Liber, stopped it on the apex like we said earlier before to stop the comeback, and that's what Morand was also doing early on. The gap's 5.2 between Huis and Morand. Keithley's in a race kind of on his own. We'll see whether Liber now can catch Keithley, because Liber's moved his way up the field quite nicely in this race for Twister. They've had a very quiet race, but he's moved his way up. Ivar Calamies is 9th and Baldi is 8th. We'll have to see whether that's I'm predicting that's about where they'll finish after their incidents, which isn't bad at all, but we'll have to see with the pit stops.
We will indeed, but at the moment, we've got 2 other drivers in pit lane. That's Eros Mashuli and Zuhait Cabo that's pitted, and Kolarec is also pitted there, so there's a couple of drivers into pit lane. As we are on lap 48 now, as Huis and Morand across the line. Oh, back marker there. Kolarec got out, was aware that Morand was coming and moved out of the way. So Jack Keithley goes through in 3rd place. Samuel Liber is the man in 4th, and he is 4.6 seconds behind Keithley. And Simoncic pits. After what we saw with those rear tyres, it was always likely that he would pit.
So he's going to have to pit again. There's no way he can go to the end of this race. Be 23 laps, and that's hard.
Hard tyres, he could do that.
Maybe.
Just.
That's kind of, I don't think Simonic wanted to pit now.
Remember the fuel will have come down, so the tyres will probably last a little bit longer, so that probably will help Simoncic a bit. He should be able to get to the end there, from there to the, oh my god, to the end there.
He'll have to try, because I don't think strategy-wise, he would have been aiming to pit here, probably another 2-3 laps, but I think his car we saw it was all over the place. He kind of had to bring it in. But he's going to have to find maybe a couple laps on those tyres, but it's going to be close enough that he has to go for it. You know, he can't afford to, unless he realises 10 laps to go and 8 laps to go, there's no chance of doing it, and he'll come and put the softs on. But at this point, I think Simonic has to try and go to the end.
Yeah, you'd have to think that anyway. But at the moment, we'll have to wait and see, because there's a lot of other pit stops about to happen as well. Lebert is the man that's just pitted now. He's coming from 4th place. So Lebert is making his stop. This should be a hard tyres to the end, I would have thought again.
The big question is Ruiz, right? Ruiz knows that he's going to he's going to make one more stop and go on the hards. And Ruiz wants to come in as early as possible because he wants the more laps on the undercut to get that gap out. So the real question is, how early does Ruiz want to pit? And that's my question, to see whether Simonic can make the tyres last, because Ruiz will want to pit the earliest point possible, but he'll have to have tyres left at the end. So we'll see when Ruiz pits, because that's going to be exactly when the hard tyres would want to pit, because he can choose right now.
Yeah, Lebert just came out of pit lane. He had a bit of a smoky engine, it looked like, actually coming out of the pit lane there, but it seems to have gone now. So we need to keep an eye on that Twister Racing engine, because it looked like there was a big plume of white smoke that came out as he exited pit lane. So on lap 49, you have to go very, very careful to Samuel Lebert. Simonic just closed in on Calamise. Calamise is yet to stop, as Ruiz and Moran have both carried on. The gap still at 5 seconds.
Yep. Well, I reckon we'll see Ruiz in about 3 laps, maybe like 51. That would leave him 19 to go. He went about 18, and like you said, with the less fuel, now the tyre wear should be less. But yeah, he'll want to pit as soon as possible, but I predict either this lap or the next one will be when Ruiz will be looking to pit. That's when I would pit. Unless he's going to, I mean, you can't surely stretch these long enough to go on the softs and match Moran's strategy.
I just thought that myself.
Yeah,
I was just thinking the same thing.
That would be a huge stint, though, he would have to do. He would have had to have done, because Moran's going to be on the bubble of doing that. Ruiz would have to do like 26 laps.
Calamise has just made his pit stop. He's coming down the pit lane now, and away he goes. And he's come out in clear air, 5.6 seconds behind Marcel van der Linden, as Lebert is close to Simonic. And those guys have both stopped as well. So there's a game on between the Ash Racing car and the Twister Racing car at the moment, between Lebert and Simonic.
Sorry, yeah, good job by Ash to get Simonic back out ahead of Lebert. That was a great job.
So Simonic now is holding in front of Lebert and doing a great job of it as well, but I'm sure Lebert is going to be pressing on and wanting to get by Simonic fairly soon. Looks like we've lost Dion Stadenov there as well, unfortunately. Looks like he's had a DNF, not too sure where that was, unfortunately, though. Nevertheless, he will push on, and Moran is 5 seconds still behind Bonnequist, so no change there, and Jack Keithley is 12 seconds behind.
Keithley's having a very good race, very quiet race. He's kind of waiting for things to play out in front. Yeah, very solid. He's 3rd place. He's not really under too much pressure from behind. He's not really pressuring guys from the front. He was catching up when they were having that. He probably is the one guy that didn't want the split strategy between Ruiz and Moran. He loved that they were fighting each other tooth and nail on the circuit, because it was allowing him to close up. But he's on for should be on for a podium, and then, you know, maybe better. You never know. You can just keep going and see. And Jack Keithley's had a very, very solid drive today.
Most definitely. So we'll have to wait and see now how the rest of these pit stops sort themselves out. We're on lap 51 at the moment, so we're going very, very long into this stint on these harder compound tyres. Race leader Bonnequist, is he diving in? Oh yes, he is. So race leader Bonnequist is diving into pit lane now.
I called it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He has bit the bullet and he's dived to pit lane. Oh, unfortunately, we've lost Eros Mashuli now also, as Morgan Moran regains the race lead and does a 21.7 in the process. A good lap there from Morgan Moran as well. So Bonnequist will come back out. What is likely to be another set of hard tyres, and this will see him to the end. Now it's a case of how far can Moran go on this set of tyres. We're on lap 52. Matt, by your calculation, do we need, what, 7 to 8 laps more out of him?
We need at least 7. I mean, you really need, because at the end of the race, he really didn't have any tyres yesterday. Van Starkenberg tried this, and he pitted with on lap 60. So you need to make it to at least lap 60. I mean, preferably later than that. But if Moran's better on tyres, say maybe 59. But that's where he's going to have to hit, is the 59-60 region, I think, to really stand a chance of making this work. Because otherwise, he might get past Ruiz, but then he's going to have no tyres, and Ruiz might get right back by him because the tyres will go off the cliff. So I reckon 59 or 60, and we'll see whether Moran can make it happen. If not, I think that the lead of this race, or the winner of this race, is gone for Ghostspeed. He has to go with the softs.
Yeah, we still have 16 runners and riders at the moment. We've got Morgan Moran leading the way from Bonnequist in second place. Moran still has to make a stop also. Jack Keithley's in third place from Van Starkenberg in fourth. Peter Burlak is in fifth place from Gergo Baldi in sixth. Simončić is in seventh place from Samuel Bear in eighth. Zoltan Schutte is in ninth place from Marcel van der Linden for Biocross Positive Sim Racing. Another good outing for Biocross. They're in 10th. Ivar Kalamis is currently in 11th place from Blair Disley in 12th. Kolarec is in 13th for Pescara, with Rondon in 14th place from Carbo in 15th. Philip Pushka is just retired, in fact. Oh, we did have 16, we're now down to 15 because we've just lost Philip Pushka.
That's a shame. The push is out of this race. We'll try and see what happened there between him and actually Masculi retired before Konstantinov. I just stayed in the room a little bit longer. We missed that one. Apologies too. I'll have a look and see whether I can find what happened with Pushka.
Yeah, so he lost Pushka. Bonnequist come up to some lap traffic. That's Moises Rondon, who's still going and still have a solid drive there today for the PSR team. So good move. That's the Just Go Swain PSR team, that one. And out of the way he goes is Moises Rondon. And the gap is coming down between Huis and Moran now. It's 5.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big... That's the problem with this strategy right now, is that Moran has to try and stay within 5 seconds, and if Ruiz can get anywhere near the back of that car, then it's not going to work because he's going to be a whole stop ahead. So the big question is that it's 5.2 now. It needs to stay above 3 to even stand a shot, really. Pushka just retired. He brought the car into the garage, so obviously called it a day there. I think the problem is with Moran's strategy is Ruiz has too many laps on these fresh tyres, and he's going to pull out close in too much of a gap. Moran has to give it everything he has and still make the tyres go to lap 59. Like we're saying, a rock and a hard place.
Well, yeah, it was just evaluating as well, and it's a good point made, is the fact that neither of them have actually been on soft tyres yet. Bono has not been on soft tyres at any other point in this race. They have to, so Bono has to pit again.
Whoa.
Bono will have to pit again for soft tyres, and when Moran pits, which is likely to be in what 6-7 laps, he'll have to go on soft tyres. So Bono will be on soft tyres probably now. Yeah, because look at the gap. So the gap's coming down between Huis and Moran quite fast now. So Bono's actually on the soft tyre now, and he's gunning it to try and close that gap back down. I didn't realise how much he just took out of him in the middle sector there. In fact, that's a huge amount of time he just gained in the middle sector. 20.0 he's just done, in fact, in Huis. That's a huge time gain in the middle sector, so he's gone soft, and he'll have to put some more soft, and Moran will pit on 60, we reckon.
Yeah, well, Moran will have to go to 59 or 60 and put the softs on, and then Ruiz will also be pitting about that lap, maybe a lap or so later, and he'll have the softs on again at the end. That's interesting. I did not even pick up on that. So interesting that it's actually Precision that decided to go with one more stop than Ghostspeed. So this is the lead of the race on the circuit then. Moran has to keep track position until he pits at lap 60. And that is not going to be easy because he is going to be on old tyres trying to save them, with Ruiz attacking on the softs. So it's come the complete 360. We thought it'd be Moran on the fast tyres attacking Ruiz, and it's the other way round. It's Ruiz on the fast tyres now attacking Moran.
I can't take full credit for that either. It was my team manager Andre Countryman and our broadcast cameraman Jackie Minkin that told me about that as well. So I can't take full credit.
You should have took full credit. They won't know. They don't have a mic. They can't say anything. You'll have to take full credit.
This race is still going. We've got we got about 15 laps to go, 14 laps to go now, in fact. So,
Oh wow, the gap.
it's getting very, very close.
Moran's going to have to do some sensational defending for 4 laps if he's going to pull this one out. Moran then will, of course, get the undercut for a lap or maybe 2 on Ruiz. Ruiz will surely just pit a lap after Moran because he won't want to lose too much time on the undercut. This is going to be very, very tight. It's going to be who's leading the race at lap 62, 63 is going to be the winner of this one.
Yeah, he's got to do it on track though, and Huis is really close this gap. It's underneath the second now as Moran's harder tyres go off now, and Huis is on those soft tyres. He started to reel him in so much now. Another 20.0 he did in that previous lap, so he's closed the gap. 21.7 is Moran's fastest on the hard tyres at the moment, and you can just see Huis is getting closer and closer and closer. Now it's likely that Huis is going to get a run on Moran. It's a case of after that is how far Huis can pull away from Moran before the stops, because like you said, Moran will be likely to pit first.
Yeah, he needs to get over a second
or at the same time, in fact.
Yeah, he could come in at the same time, but like I said, Moran is going to have, I think, 2 laps at the end where he's going to have no tyres. He's a sitting duck here, though. Luckily, he might have a big enough gap to hold him off down the straight, because surely if Ruiz gets anywhere near that grip of those soft tyres, it's going to be too much, and Moran goes defensive and then doesn't, and Ruiz goes deep as he stopped the car.
Wow. Got up the inside. Oh, look at the grip advantage that Ruiz has got as well. Huge tyre wheel spin there for Morgan Moran. He won't be able to do anything about that. And this time, finally, Bonner Ruiz has been able to put an overtake move on Morgan Moran, and he goes up into the race lead. So it is Bonner Ruiz and Morgan Moran. They're on different tyres, and they will have to both stop again. But Bonner Ruiz now leads the way on these soft tyres, and will need to try and pull an advantage if he can.
Yeah, Moran needed to hold him back longer than that. Moran had to pull something out. I'm surprised he gave Ruiz the inside there, because Ruiz with the fresher tyres was always going to be able to stop the car better than Moran. So I'm very surprised he gave Ruiz the inside. That might be the win of this race, because Moran has to go another 3 laps on these tyres. He's losing over a second a lap, and that's going to be too much for him to catch up at the end. Looks like Precision might have done it again.
Possibly so, but it's a case of what Bonner Ruiz can do though now.
Yeah, he has to keep pushing, and like I said, those tyres will go off for Ruiz. Interesting, they'll probably go off about lap 60, so we'll have 2 laps on the slow tyres when Moran will be on the fast tyres, so that could be up to 2 seconds a lap difference. But Bonner Ruiz can't pit the same time as Moran, really. I mean, he could if he wanted to, but...
Well, if they were to pit at the same time, then that would work for Ruiz, because they just come out as they are now. Because they're both on fresh tyres.
True, and that's probably what he should do, actually. I mean, he's going to have to live with the tyres useless at the end for a couple laps, but so will Moran. So I think Ruiz... Yeah.
Keith Theo has done a sterling job though today to stay in 3rd place, and he's made his tyres work quite nicely, and so is Rob van Starkenburg. Burlak is in 5th though at the moment.
Yeah, Van Starkenburg apparently closing in.
Van Starkenburg is closing in, and Moran's just had a huge moment because it's gone out to 2.8 seconds. I think he ran over a little bit too much of the curbing at the chicane through the fast chicane of the slow chicane of 8 and 9. Yes, he ran over too much curbing, and he went slightly wide.
When will Moran pit? Will he go this lap?
We're on 58. So what's he going to do? Oh, he has pit now. He's in.
Early. That's early, but I think
it's a long run.
He just wants to. He just wants to try and get the lead of this race back, because he can't win the race from second. I think that's what he's realised now, is that he has to try and get the undercut. Now, what will Ruiz do? Because that will be a good 3 laps too long on those softs at the end. But Ruiz, will he just cover Moran and do exactly what Moran does? Keithley, here comes Keithley. He's not even far behind Moran. So if Moran's tyres go off completely off the cliff at the end, Keithley might be in with a shot.
Yeah, Keithley was very, very close there. I didn't realise how close Jack Keithley was going to get to Morgan Moran then, in fact. Obviously, Moran's going to have the fresh tyre, so he'll start to pull away now. But, my word, what a race that Jack Keithley's had there. He's nearly got onto Morgan Moran there. He's had some exceptional pace, and so is Rob van Starkenburg in this part of the race. He's only 4.5 seconds behind his teammate. So at this point in the race, Rob van Starkenburg has done a very, very good job. He's
he
back in
has,
front
and
of
he's closing
Burlak and Simoncic as well, so this is working out for those guys. And Baldy, he's, wow, great scrap going on between Simoncic, Liber, and Baldy now as well. This is all over 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, that's going to be a very tough one. We're going to have to see in about 4 or 5 laps time who has to pit.
Bono's pitted. Bono's coming for his set of tyres. That's fine because, well, Moran's on a quick out lap at the moment anyway. But he had about a 2.5, 2.6 second advantage. And Huis is in his pit box now. This is going to be quite close because the advantage was solid. He's coming round the final corner now is Morgan Moran. Where is Huis? And he's away now. He's out of pit lane. Yeah, that's a nice margin. So it's the same as what he pitted with. 2.6 seconds. And he's got now, 2 seconds as he goes into turn 1. So that's worked out for Bono Huis nicely. Van Starkenburg goes through, and Keithy's pitted now. So he's gone in for his soft tyres, and away he goes now. And he's in front of Simoncic. That's worked nicely for Jack Keithy because he's into clear air. And Peter Burlak is 6 seconds further down the road. So he can close on Burlak if Burlak doesn't have to stop again. Not too sure if he did take the soft tyres yet. I've not seen that one.
I don't think so, no.
No, so Van Starkenburg should be the next man to go in for his soft tyres. But the two guys at the front, Bono Huis from Morgan Moran, split by 2 seconds. Both have pits for the final time and both on soft tyres.
Yeah, so we have the lead of the race. Moran's going to have to pull some miraculous miracle out, though. Alliteration there used. That's one of the commentator's skills that we have. We do have skills. I did go to
Supposedly.
school. Supposedly, yeah. We don't just talk about racing, but basically that's what we do. But anyway, yeah, so Moran's miracle is going to happen because he's going to have to somehow catch up Huis, who's shown he has at least matched Moran's pace all race. And then he has to go a lap longer on the tyres that you know are going to go off. I mean, I think
Van
it's...
Starkenburg's in.
Yep.
So third place man, Rob Van Starkenburg, is pitted now. He's coming in for his soft tyres. That's released Peter Burlak. He goes through for another lap. He's up into third now. Van Starkenburg is away. Keithy has just gone by. Now where's Simoncic? Simoncic's going to go by as well, is he? Yes, he does. So does Liber. And Van Starkenburg is released from pit lane as Baldy is now also pitted for his soft tyres for Brem GP.
I think Liber has to stop again too. And Simoncic. Yeah, I think they both have to stop again. Unless they've used the hard tyres earlier on, which we didn't really see.
Soft.
There should be a huge advantage between them.
Yeah, Burlak is likely to be the next man in then to take his softer compound tyres. Keithy just navigated his way around Colleretch. He's 3.7 seconds behind Peter Burlak at the moment and closing that gap, but we do believe that Burlak will be in once again. And Simoncic and Liber are 5th and 6th. Not too sure on their strategy as of yet, but Van Starkenburg is closing on them quite fast. It's down to 2.1 seconds already.
Yeah, he's coming. Here comes RVS. We haven't talked a lot about him in this race, but he's on the move now. Gap between the leaders has stayed about the same. Huis is just managing this.
It's actually just extended. It's gone out to 2.7 seconds, and it was a hell of a lap there for Bono Huis as well. He did a 19.1. It was a very, very good lap there as Peter Burlak hits the pit lane now.
I think the only way that Huis can lose this race is if he just takes too much out of those tyres and Moran saves them. If Moran was able to save them and Bono Huis' tyres just completely gave up, that's the only way you could lose this race, and surely Bono won't let that happen.
Burlak's now out and he's come up behind Rob Van Starkenburg, 4 seconds behind as Calamise goes through. He's now up into 8th place, so he could be a variable strategy again as Gergo Baldy is side by side with, who's that? That's Carbo. I'm not entirely sure why he's battling Carbo there, because Carbo should be getting out of the way. He's a back marker. There we go, now he gets out of the way. No, he's not, he's still defending him. I'm not too sure why Carbo's doing this.
What on earth is going on?
I'm not sure.
What is going on? He hits him!
I don't know why Carbo's defending so hard. He's not meant to be.
Carbo thinks he's leading this race.
Yep, so Baldy 4.1 seconds behind.
What on earth is he doing? He's still defending and moving. I mean, surely this has got to be getting in trouble with the stewards.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
This is
okay.
awful.
Well, Calamise has had got a nice cushion anyway, 4.4 seconds. So we'll have to see when everyone else pits. And Rob Van Starkenburg And Sonny the Bear. And Van Starkenberg's actually through. He's got by the Twister Race car. He has indeed. So Van Starkenberg's gone up into 5th place. And now trying to close in on Simoncic. He's only a second behind. And Kolarec is the man that's in the middle of them. He's a back marker. Don't defend. No, you don't. Excellent work. Simoncic is 8/10 down the road from Van Starkenberg. Now, is Baldy got by Carbo? No, what's Carbo doing?
What is going on? He's defended him to the wall, and now he's up the inside. Baldy has been weaving around like a madman, trying to get attention. Now Carbo is
Finally
in contact. What is going on there? I have no idea. There must be blue flags. His whole R Factor screen must have gone blue to move out of the way, and he still didn't. He drove him over to the wall. I don't know what's going on there. That's disappointing to see.
Very disappointing. I really don't know what Carbo was doing there, because he's not racing him at all.
No.
Unless he's just ignored the blue flag and thinks he's a different car altogether.
Yeah, I don't know how you can be getting hit up the back from a guy and not know who the guy is. Like, if somebody hits me up the back, I'm like, who is this guy? You know, and looking around. And
we got another battle emerging now. Rob Van Starkenberg has closed heavily on Simoncic, and he's right up behind him. Simoncic is still out on his harder tyres. Van Starkenberg's on those soft tyres. He's got a good run out the final corner, and this is over 4th place. Can be a GT Omega 3-4. He's getting very close to him. To the inside goes Van Starkenberg.
Yep.
And he does brake very late. Can he get it stopped though? Yes! Good work, Van Starkenberg. He goes up into 4th place on those softer compound tyres.
Simonic didn't have anything. Simonic is going to try and come back at him as he know, but I think Simonic knows he didn't have anything, and Simonic couldn't lose too much time fighting Van Starkenberg because Liber is right behind him, and we know Simonic is racing Liber because those two have been at it all day long. So I think it was probably a smart move.
If you wanted any reference of tyre degradation and tyre wear, look at the race lead. It's out to 4.1 seconds. It was 2 seconds when Moran came out of the pit lane.
Wow. So that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Moran is probably just trying to rest those tyres up a little bit, but you would think Luis will know how much tyres he needs to get to the end of this race, and will just be managing this race. So Precision could have got it bang on again. GT Omega 3 and 4 back to that position. I don't know whether there's going to be enough time for Van Starkenberg to catch Keithley. I doubt that.
Baldy's starting to close a little bit on Calamies now. He's got rid of Carbo, so he's he's gaining on him. Yeah, Baldy's coming out. Ivar Calamies, this will be over 8th and 9th. And Burlak has closed on his teammate, in fact, Liber. And they're not too far behind Simoncic at 1.1 second behind. And Liber's obviously Burlak pitted for his tyres, so you're going to get very, very close between both the Twister cars in 6th and 7th very shortly.
Yep, good spot. It's going to get very, very tight in there, and we've seen Calamies and Baldy have a good recovery drive. Suti, we haven't talked a lot about Suti. He's top 10. Kind of not really had the pace to do too much today, but he's still in a solid position.
Yeah, very solid position. He's done a great job there as Suti.
Marcel
van der Linden is 2.5 seconds behind as well at the moment.
Yep, Burlak and Liber have switched around. So that's Twister twist right there. Oh, look at me going on a roll. And he's P6 now, Burlak. Simoncic is 5. So Burlak has been released to attack. Yeah.
He's closing on Simoncic. And the thing is can Burlak make any sort of impression on Van Starkenberg? I doubt it, because he's pulled quite a gap over Simoncic now. It's at 2 seconds.
Yeah, smart decision from Twister, or maybe it's just from Liber, to let Burlak go, because Burlak will attack Simonic, and if anything, that will help Liber close in that gap. Burlak is fighting Van Starkenberg, and Simonic is fighting Liber, basically. They kind of split up a little bit. Gap between the leaders is 4.5. Here comes Burlak on Simonic. Is he close enough? It doesn't look like he is close enough for a move this time round. It doesn't look like, no, he's not going to do it this time.
Race lead at 4.6 seconds between Huis and Morgan Moran. Third place man Jack Keithley is a further 19 seconds back from Moran, with Rob Van Starkenberg 3.9 behind, and probably closing. He's closed a little, but not much. He's having a good final stint though, is Van Starkenberg here. Oh, look, Burlak's already on Simoncic as well.
Yep. Yeah, he closed in on him really quickly. Kind of had a run at him through 5, but don't try any passes through there. We've seen enough of that this weekend. I know Nick has. And just one word answer right there from Nick. Simonic is still in front of Burlak. Can Burlak
I guess can just kind of be patient here a little bit. I mean, I don't think he's going to catch Van Starkenburg, and he has 3 laps to get by Simnich, which he should be able to do. So shouldn't need too much of a rash move coming here from Peter Burlak.
Well, he just needs to set him up at the final corner, would have thought, like he did before. So this is like Van Starkenburg said he did on Simicic. So Burlak dives the nose into the final corner. Oh, good line through there and a solid exit. Again, Simicic does that crazy weave as he comes off the final corner. It's like he runs out, uses too much curb and he just gets it wrong. Brakes late, not late enough though, and Simicic holds position. But oh wow! Simicic just completely locks it up and stops on the apex as Burlak wants to go and nudge the back of him.
Simonic is not going to give up on this position. There's only a few laps left to go. That is a kind of a strange... I've noticed that too, that little wiggle, the little shake and bake coming out of the last turn from Simonic.
Oh, good ball against Ivar Calamise as well. This is on for 8th and 9th. Bolly's going to go around the outside. Calamise is he. Oh, a bit of a bump. Can he get the exit? He can. They're side by side still. He's going to go over the curbing. They're side by side up towards turn 5. Who's going to give? Bolly tries to go around the outside. Oh, Calamise just holds on. Good job, Ivar Calamise. That was ballsy.
Wow, they went side by side through the kink. How is that even possible? Oh, wow.
Made it work for them. So Bolly's trying to get past Calamise. He's doing a great job at the moment. It's Gergo Bolly, though.
He is, yeah. I'm just checking back on these 2 fights here. The Burlak-Simonic fight and the Baldy-Calamise fight. Looks like Burlak's closer to Simonic for another run into turn 1, possibly. Simonic is doing a good job at holding him back. Will he do the no shake and bake this time? And we see Burlak closing in on Simonic, and he's not going to be close enough for a pass into turn 1. Kind of wiggles under braking. Simonic is good on the brakes into turn 1, it seems.
Yeah, Van Starkenburg's really closed down Jack Keithy as well. 2.6 seconds is the gap between them two now. So we're on lap 68. It's going to get quite close between those two GTMA cars at this rate.
Baldy around the outside of Calamise. Calamise goes defensive. Baldy breaks extremely late. Around the outside, Calamise taps him. And he gets it through. Looks like Baldy's made that pass. That was a nice pass by Giorgio Baldy. And he was going to take that place with only a couple laps to go. Wow.
It was indeed. Baldy's got through, so that puts him into 8th place. Ivar Calamise 9th. Not great day for him in terms of his championship. Jack Keithy's a man in 3rd. He'll probably take quite a chunk of points out of him, but he'll probably pull away from Pushka. Moran will close on Ivar Calamise also, so not been ideal for Ivar Calamise here at the moment, as he will try and get as many points as he can, but currently staring at 9th place. Burlak, Simonic still on.
Oh, it's still on. Burlak is going to try and have another go, but the problem is Simonic is so good on the brakes into turn 1, and we'll see what whether he can get... That's really close. Simonic had to stop on the apex, and now we're in trouble because Burlak's going to get such a good run. He pulls back behind him. Simonic kind of all over the place on this straight, and Burlak up the inside now just has to pick the braking point. But look, Simonic so good on the brakes, manages to hold it.
He tried to move under braking to cover the line off, but Burlak was already there. He had already made it up the inside, and Burlak went deep. Oh, he's got so much more grip around the outside though, and he goes up into 5th place as a Twister Racing driver.
Wow, good pass, good pass. Just had so much more grip, like you said, just held it. And Simonic was kind of looking for a repass into turn 2, but that was...
6.3 seconds is the race lead, by the way.
Yeah, it's really opened up. I think Moran threw in the towel once Ruiz pitted and was starting to pull away from him, so... oh, Moran spun! Moran just spun! The second to last turn, Moran just spun round. Luckily, there's nobody anywhere near him. He didn't hit anything. I didn't even know what I was seeing there.
Either.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been crazy. 1 lap to go. Moran spinning on the circuit.
Yeah, 1 lap to go now, and he's just lost a whole chunk of time. Still 14 seconds, though, back to Jack Keithy. But, yeah, a huge moment there. Looks like he just lost rear grip.
Yeah, like we said, those tyres, like I said, the tyres will only last about 10 if you're lucky. And I think these tyres are done now. So Ruiz will have to be careful too. I'm sure he will do now. He's warning that Moran spun. So Burlak, Simonic is
look
over.
Look at Van Starkenburg. Look how close he's got to his teammate. He's only a second behind. We're on the final lap now. I doubt there'll be a positional change, but what a final stint that Rob Van Starkenburg's had here.
Yeah, he's had a great race. Just that one stint where he went that 1 lap too long. And it's cost him a podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ruiz, he's the man around the Hungarian at the moment. He's coming down towards turn 14. He's coming up to the back marker. That's Blair Disley in front. And he's coming to 15. This is where Moran just had his moment before on the previous lap. Oh, wow. Bono Whitney did exactly the same thing.
Nothing
and
left.
Into...
he's gone!
Wow.
Told you, nothing left on these
There's
tyres.
nothing left on his tyres. And he comes out, and he is going to win in Hungary. And also in there for Bono Whitney after an incredible race. Moran is also tiptoeing around the final 2 corners. And he will come out the final corner now. And Morgan Moran finished in 2nd place. What a fight it's been between those 2 drivers. Incredible. And Jack Keithley, can he hold on from Rob van Starkenburg? It looks like he can. He's come up to the final corner now. Jack Keithley will be on the podium in Hungary. He hates this race. He's never even done very well here. And he's got a podium. Awesome job, Jack Keithley. Rob van Starkenburg in 4th place. A brilliant job after his promotion from World Series. Burlak comes across in 5th for Twister. Simoncic is 6th for Ash Racing. Samuel Bear is 7th in the 2nd Twister car. Gergo Baldi's held on from Ivar Calamies as well. And he's come around the final corner and he will be in 8th place. A great drive from Birmingham GP there. Ivar Calamies in 9th for Precision Motorsports. And Zoltan Suti rounds up the top 10 after a great drive from himself there, fast in speed.
Rallying at the end. Crazy. I had a feeling that, like we saw yesterday, those soft tyres just gave way, and I hadn't seen them give way that much because Van Starkenburg didn't do that many laps, but those things just completely gave way to the point where 2 of the best drivers in sim racing were spinning and almost going off the track all on their own. But they make it work. Bono does what he needs to do, makes it work, and rallies and slides his way across the line. And a great drive from Bono Huis, you have to say. My driver of the day, not even a question about it. He was aggressive, but still pretty patient, and then he won on the strategy if Moran was defending for his life and wasn't going to give him anything on the track. So, Bono Huis, my driver of the day. What about you there, Nick?
I think with the strategy that played out and the way Precision played it, you have to give it to Bono Huis. He did a fantastic job to make up the time required and to get in front the way he did in front of Morgan Moran. But I thought Jack Keithley had a solid drive as well to get himself up onto the podium on around a track that he clearly has been quite vocal about in not liking. Peter Burlak, I think he's done a solid run there for Twister Racing also. But yeah, I think he's got to go to Bono Huis. An incredible run. The race really started around about lap 20 after the situation with Patrick De Wit. We do apologise for what happened there. We Race Direction have already pointed out the fact that there will be a review coming. But you know, Mikko Pumalainen, the race director, will have a full review of the entire race. I'm sure there'll be probably a lot of incidents to resolve. Yeah. But yeah, I think in terms of going forwards, we should be in for a good second half of the season.
Yeah, Bono Huis did his championship a whole lot of good, with Calamies having a bad race and Huis having a spectacular race. But it's shown pretty quick that Morandi's right there, and a couple other guys had a good chance too. Baldi had good pace, but unfortunately had the incident. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. It's still halfway of the season still to go, but Bono Huis stretches his championship lead with a great drive at Hungary.
Yep, you're absolutely right there. And we unfortunately no drive press conferences. We hope to change that one day, but at the moment it's not the case. Nevertheless, we move on, and it's racing 2 weeks' time. We do actually have a smaller gap this time round, rather than the month gap that we just had, and it will be the European Grand Prix, which is round the streets of Valencia. At least we think it is. There was a little bit of speculation that it may not have been, but I believe it is still Valencia, so we should be going to Valencia for the next round, and that is on the weekend of the 17th and 18th of August, and we will all be looking forward to that. So from myself, Nick Rowland, here today with Matt Hartley and also our cameraman Jaki Mikkonen and race direction Mikko Pumalainen, we thank you and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.